if I die tomorrow. I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yo soy Boricua. Yo soy Boricua.
Oh,
So excited this week.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Like-
Thank you. Thank you. What is
Yo, it's not even June. Like it's not even.
Yo. I have a reason.
No.
I have a reason for coming in that hot.
No.
I have one.
No.
You gotta give me 5 minutes. You gotta give me my minute. My
Your
time.
minute.
Right.
NWO?
Fail. It's a fail.
LWO.
That was a fail.
Latino World Order.
The Latino World Order?
WWE Backlash was hosted in Puerto Rico. They haven't had an event like that in 18 years for a wrestling event, so they did it.
Oh. I think Hugo is gonna make an enemy out of Pong right now.
Oh my goodness! Listen, whenever the Islands Parade is, you got to come in with the stupid mesh wife beater and then the necklace with
basically
the
his outfit from that 4th of July that we did.
Yes.
Latin World Order, baby. That's it. Come on.
Yep. Got to put the Puerto Rican flag on the hood of the car because everyone in Maze Landing needs to know.
You got to put on the hood, the door. You just got to put it up. No, but Bad Bunny wrestled, which was pretty.
All right, I'm over this. Let's keep going.
Okay, moving on.
I'm over this.
So
I'm over this.
I mean,
what's going on, everyone?
I don't know why does he think we watch wrestling? I don't understand.
Listen, I was excited for it. It was great.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah, Bad Bunny. You excited as Bad Bunny in that fucking Spider-Man movie he's gonna be in, or that Spider?
I don't know that. We got a question.
Spider-Man adjacent.
Anyway.
How was everyone's weekends? What'd you guys get up to? What's going on, everybody?
I'm doing a lot of yard work.
Welcome to having a house, sir.
Oh man, I was mowing the lawn. I was cutting some trees down. I got some dirt today to fill some holes. It's just good stuff.
Worth it. It's
gonna
be worth it.
Dad problems. Yeah, good job.
Yeah, 100%.
We're waiting for the dad jokes.
Val, what you get into?
Well, I didn't do much actually. Saturday was like chores, and I'm trying to organize through old clothing and get rid of old stuff, because I bought a bunch of new stuff over the last few months, and it's like, let's start throwing stuff away. So I'm doing little projects at a time, and then play some video games. Yeah, and then I saw Guardians on Sunday. Yay!
Very nice.
Nice.
I have picked up the my old watch kit stuff so I can start repairing and replacing batteries and doing all sorts of fun stuff to my watches that I haven't done in freaking years, because I woke up and I was like, I need to keep this energy going, otherwise I'm gonna put this down and never gonna pick it up for another 6-7 months.
Right.
So I've organized it and I ordered some stuff on Amazon that should be here next week, so fingers crossed. Basically bought a whole new kit because my old kit is just basura, and I've been watching nothing but how to clean out deep clean watches and get them all pristine and nice and whatnot. So
cool.
Fingers crossed.
Nice.
I spend time bonding with my nephew over the phone watching Backlash, just talking about the LWO and everything. He was like, Dio, who's that guy? That's Salvio Vega. That's when Dio was when your daddy was your age watching wrestling, coming out and doing his little mark. So yeah, for those who don't watch wrestling, I was just excited just to see it back in Puerto Rico. But you also know what else I picked up this weekend?
Announcements.
That's right, announcements. We picked it up this weekend, the announcements. Brought to you by Depression and bad segues. Here we go.
Segway? What?
Yeah, you can add it to the list.
Pog, put it on the list. Segways?
Segways.
I don't know what
we're gonna make
segways.
We're sorry with my Twitch. So sorry about Sunday. I was just completely under the weather and slept pretty much most of the day. This Thursday I will be out because of a work event that I am attending, which would be actually pretty cool. I'll hopefully have pictures and stuff to tell you guys about it next week. And then Sunday is on the fence because, as you guys know, it's Mother's Day. So I do not know if I will be streaming this week. But the following week, that Thursday I will be streaming on the 18th, and the 21st is the 2-year Twitch affiliate anniversary stream, which apparently people have voted for a streamathon, subathon, and we'll see what happens. I'm definitely taking off work on Monday, so let's have some fun.
Oh, I know you were dead last year when you did that, so good luck.
19 and a half hours.
Red Bulls.
I did 19 and a half hours, and like there was a period where like 20 plus people were in stream, but I guarantee like everyone was asleep, and I was just talking to myself, and I was just like in the ethos of just like brain just like gone. And then my sister came on, and then Turt hit me with another like 20 subs and was like, yo, how about you, instead of ending at 9, you want to end at 12:31? And I was like, yeah, sure. This is great. So let's see what happens this year with the streamathon, subathon, all that good fun stuff. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully my computer does not shit the bucket on me 15 million times in the process.
Wow, what's going on in TV land?
So last week we had a very fun episode, riding Six Flags, where we were talking about red flags and relationships and stuff. Which was actually a very good episode. You guys should go back and watch. I'm just saying. And this week's episode, I have no idea because we haven't discussed it yet. So tune in Saturdays, between 6 and 8 Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. And yeah, the ladies are a lot of fun, so it's pretty cool.
Nah, you guys are awesome over there. I'm still stuck with that fun dude, but you guys kicks ass over there with some awesome topics and everything. So giving you guys a big shout out over there. Make sure you guys are tuning in to TV. Link is in the description, so make sure you guys are checking it out. Also, too, May 22nd, I will be doing a live drawing stream and raffle. So if you're already a subscriber to Patreon, you get a free raffle ticket. That's bonetstudios.com. So also, too, with the Patreon, you also get access to Concrete Kombat. Chapter 2, Part 2 is out now. Chapter 2, Part 3 is in the works. Exclusive art, fun art, a lot of great stuff that is on there. So make sure you guys are tuning in to patreon.com/Bonet Studios. Finally, also, too, make sure you guys are also tuning into the Medusa's Cascade podcast. There's a lot of great stuff on there. It's a D&D podcast that started February of 2020. We have been going on and on and on about this podcast. I play a lovable character named Kyra. These guys are fighting the dragon, and we got some great recap episodes to recap people on all the stuff that's happened. So this way you don't have to sit through all the other episodes that are there.
Fun stuff on the website. Go check it out. We have like new character art and like new things happening. Go to the medusascascade.com for more. So we'll update that link over there. But it looks dope, and we have a lot of new stuff underway. We have like small little animation bits that are coming out, so it's been fun.
Also, too, you guys make sure you're checking out Lou Cyphs' EP, The Motive. The link is in the description. Lou Cyph is the one who created the theme song for Nerds. And if you want to check out more Lou Cyph, make sure you're also checking him out at the Delancey on July 9th, 15th, 9 p.m., New York City. He will be live again at the Delancey performing. For those who missed it, the performance was awesome. Definitely feeds off the energy of the crowd, gives you guys a show. So if you're in New York City, get out there. Also, too, make sure you guys are catching.
Missed it. And he's like looking at Law Val.
I didn't say anything.
I
say nothing. I just said, for those who missed it.
4 a.m. that day.
Perpetually sad.
Had to take over the drive halfway through.
Take the wheel, Tone. I couldn't see. Oh shit. Red Bull did nothing that time. Also, too, make sure you guys are checking out George and Sam at Catch the Craze. That's the indie podcast that keeps on giving it out there for the indies. They keep over there giving all their support out there for the indies. Make sure you're following them for their adventures. Love you, Sam, George. You guys are awesome. Make sure you guys are checking out our buddy Pong over there at twitch.tv/Sinshop every Monday and Fridays. So make sure you guys are subscribing over there to the Twitch machine.
He's also here.
Yeah, he is also there. Segwags. Yep. And finally, this is a great way to segwags our guest, because on Wednesday nights comes out the 4-letter nerd. The 4-letter nerd. Everybody's seen Mayhem Mike on the show. He's with his crew on there. They're talking geek, they're talking shop, they're doing everything on there, and everybody's seen the mayhem that is Mike. I give Mike a big shout out because it was Mike and Law who were the first 2 guests of the show. We're on the pilot episode, which is lost for some reason in the ethos because it was just a really bad cut episode. It was just really bad when you can't see anybody in the show and all you see is just shadow. And we didn't. It was a badly cut episode. Remember that, Law?
Come on, man. We're at 10 minutes. Come on, let him in.
I know we're at 10 minutes. So, coming out for all the way from Brooklyn.
Jesus Christ.
We want to give it up for Mike Mayhem, and he's brought over with him backup today. Give it up for Michael. Black below the waist, Burgie.
What's up, folks?
Two mics walking the bar.
All right.
Hi,
So, Sebastian, there's some things I want to address before we continue with the show. First of all, Tone, it sounds like you are digging a grave, and I don't know if I don't know.
I'm hovering over this remove button, bro.
That's right. Anyway, it sounds like you're digging over the grave, but congratulations to the house. I swore today that you and I would not go back about. Anyway, so well, we normally go about, right? I figured today would be different. The second thing is it's very great to see your beautiful faces. Definitely my co-host Burgie over here is amazing. It's funny you say the first pilot episode because I still have that gift from like other episodes and when we sat there and we talked and all this other stuff. And I'm like, this man has come a long way. So all episodes were dope, if you ask me. All episodes were dope. It may be lost, but it was not a bad one to me because we had a great time.
Listen, it was something. It was definitely something. The vague fever dream that it is for me. I remember the bits and pieces of us like because of what the topic was of a lot of heated, just like anger. At least for me.
I just remember that in that episode when I got to see the cut, and there's nothing against the person who was editing it. When I got to see the final edit, and I was like, why did you insert a 2 girls and 1 cup joke in the middle of this? I had to like, oh, we gotta cut this. This is not gonna air. And so that was done, and it was like, yeah, we're not airing this. And then having to look at salvage whatever footage because I remember the lights were backwards.
Completely and utterly confused.
This is way before you joined.
We're still talking about that.
Yeah, we're still talking about that.
Well, it's kind of relevant, much like how Sebastian keeps mispronouncing words. So, like, this has always been a thing. Have you ever heard him try to say for poops and giggles?
We cut that segment out early. That early. That was one of my first.
Oh man!
It was like, we're not doing it.
We cut that shit out early when I became an official member.
So we want to welcome Burgie. Burgie, is your first time on the show. Welcome again. This is the Mayhem Nerds, but we haven't done this in a while.
What are we doing? Oh, I'm only gonna. I got one thing. If you blow me up.
Yep.
Oh.
Open the fucking door. Let's get to it.
That's fair.
Someone's ready for the night.
Should have brought my drink.
Damn. How many people did that scene catch off guard? Because that was just hilarious.
I was waiting for it. I'm like watching this movie and I'm like, I know this F-bomb is coming. Who's going to say it? And when's it going to happen? And I'm just there waiting. And you see all these moments. You see them all going at it. Like, it was Mantis going to say it? Is Drax going to say it? Is Nebula going to say it when she gets pissed off? Is Rocket going to say it? And then they do it at the most convenient scene of Star-Lord telling Nebula to open the door, and I feel as a parent, I recognize that.
Yep.
A lot.
You understand that stress.
Honestly, I would have thought that it went to Mantis later on, but I get it.
I think he said that's an unscripted line in the movie, right?
That had to be unscripted. That had to be unscripted.
Chris Pratt does a lot of unscripted stuff. I mean, a lot of it. He did a lot of unscripted stuff in Parks and Rec and all that too. So like he's known for doing it.
The Kim Kardashian sex tape joke.
Oh, that's great. And the bloopers. That's so good.
One of the best jokes.
One of the best. Yeah, I don't know why it's a blooper.
And he just says it so casually, and then they all start catching the joke. It's amazing.
They were trying not to catch it, but they did.
They were trying not to laugh so hard.
Yeah. They just start breaking one by one.
Yep.
Is this in Parks and Rec?
It's a blooper in Parks and Rec.
Got it.
Yeah.
We'll send it to you.
We're talking about celebrities who've made a comeback, and he's like, "What about Kim Kardashian? She had come her back."
Dropping the Infinity Stone in the first movie was improv. Interesting.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. No, it lent more weight to that scene because it just when he did it, I just busted out laughing in the movie theater and just was like, yeah, I didn't expect that scene. It was just it flowed perfectly, and it was just like it just shows you also too the chemistry that they bounced off of each other as a cast and crew working on this movie. So it's just dope. But yeah, what was some highlights for you guys in the movies? Because there's just a lot of stuff for me. I'm just like I got caught so much in the feels with this movie.
Can I start with like the few nitpicks that I have?
Yes.
Because there's honestly less things that I hate about this movie than I enjoy. I genuinely enjoyed this movie. One, I would say Gamora for whatever reason bothered me the most out of this.
It was her hair.
Something, I don't know. Something
Her hair
about
was different, but they had to make her into a whole new person.
But it
Right.
didn't. It wasn't Gamora hair though.
Something
it wasn't
about
Gamora.
Something
It's
about her
Ravager
look.
hair.
How
Something about her look bothered me, but also
Fair.
her personality. Like,
She
get
went
it.
back
She went back. I get it. But it felt so forced sometimes that I was just like, all right, calm it down. Like, we get it. We get that you're a Ravager now and you're not the same Gamora. But they tried so hard to make it a thing, and we understood that it was already a thing, so it didn't need to be like, that was just a me thing.
I don't know. I feel like with Gamora, the Gamora we got in Endgame was literally when, I don't know, they tippy-toed on where she was on the whole, how she felt about Thanos thing, because she was still murdering people when he was conquering.
Yeah.
Like, she was still about it.
She was still very much involved, right?
She was still very much involved. So that persona of her is what
very
we're
different
getting,
from
and
who we
it's
got.
not. We're not at the point where she like realizes Thanos is like he's crazy and he's mad and I need to stop him and I'm gonna betray him. It's way before that. So she takes that whole thing and moves it forward, which is why she can't look at Star-Lord and be like, I fell for this fucking guy. There's no way in hell.
Right.
There's no way in hell, because she was still on that deadliest woman in the galaxy. But she's still the deadliest woman in the galaxy when we see her in Guardians 1, but she was already at that point of betraying Thanos. Where 2014, when we see her, it was just like she's not about it.
But here's the thing, though: we're worried about the way she acted, not how they've explained how she stayed past the Infinity Stone snap.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. I hope they would have
explained. Are we really going to go into logic?
They said she turned. I mean, she turned code. So like the whole
So I don't think
Disney
she was considered part
sauce.
of. I don't think she was considered part of Thanos' crew at the time because again, it was they were like take out Thanos' forces because Nebula, she killed herself or she died. So she probably wouldn't have gone away with the snap. But yeah, it's like everyone who was on Thanos' side kind of like snapped away,
which kind of makes sense.
But no, I mean with Gamora, for me. Yeah, for me, Gamora, I mean, she wasn't all for me. I know what they were trying to do is that, they were trying to establish that she was definitely just a different character now from what we originally got from the original Guardians movies, from the first two and the Infinity Saga. And she was, for me, more used as a crutch for Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord, to get over and to move on. That's what I felt like she was used for, because it's like his Gamora's died. This is just him saying, okay, goodbye, because he never got that goodbye moment. And when she was walking off, it's like, yeah, we had a great time. It's like, it was kind of like, for me, it was him just saying goodbye. Like he got a second chance to say goodbye, pretty much.
If I were to add to that, I would say that I don't think she had a very strong presence in this movie. She was more of a background character. Not to say she didn't have some worthy lines and actions, but I think it's like her and then Mantis, because even Mantis and Drax who play off of each other, you know what I'm saying? And Mantis is more like comedic relief with Drax, and then he just had the awakening of whether or not he's stupid or not, and that was amazing. And then everybody else, I think, had a more prominent role. Even arguably Groot.
I think this has honestly established what we kind of figured when they were like, this is the last Guardians movie, that this is going to establish them in new roles and new things. So like with Gamora being where she is and saying, yo, I'm a Ravager, this isn't me. Like we knew that from the jump. Like we knew we weren't going to get her back in the crew. So everyone else now is kind of like we're just trying to figure out, all right, where's Nebula gonna go? Where's this one? And like by the end of it, it made sense, and I kind of was okay with it more than I thought I would be.
Hit the feels though. Hit the
I was
feels button.
surprisingly okay with none of the OG crew dying because of how they
how
they did their story. Because I was really prepared for like Drax dying and sacrificing himself. He's like, "You're my family," and I, after I lost my wife and daughter,
I thought Nebula was gonna like. There was
I thought
moments.
Nebula was
there was
gonna
moments
die.
where you think each one of them are going to die.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they had it all throughout the whole movie. At least every act had you thought one or two of them was.
You thought Adam was gonna take out Groot. You thought Star-Lord was gonna die towards the end.
When
Nebula was trying to do the ship.
I thought she was gonna die in the ship.
I thought Rocket was willing to like blow the whole ship up just to spite homeboys. I was like, oh shit. But I will say to the point of like why did he like go back for the music? He's been saying it throughout like the course of the movie, and you see it a lot in like the last Guardian movie. Like he's literally Quill's best friend. Like they've established that they're gonna keep saying it, and obviously the joke is that he's his second best friend. But like the bond that those two have, and you see Nebula too. But
that relationship was really strong to me.
And I'm not discounting. I'm saying the reason why he would have picked up the music, because like for him, it was one of those things where, yes, like I would like to show or to showcase like, or to have something left for him,
right?
Like something left of me, even if I died. Like this is like his. Because out of everything else, there's the ship could go, this can go, this can go. The music is really what bonded them throughout the first movie, and beyond that.
I'm gonna toss the mic to Bergie, and then I want everyone to weigh in. It's like, how did you guys feel about the growth of Nebula from the beginning all the way to the series? And I want to start with you, Bergie.
I think from the initial part where we got her in the first movie, she was like the psychopath that just wanted him dead. We got that, and then we seen the transition of her into basically a teammate and a lovable character that they grew on her at times. Like you could see when he was Law was talking about earlier where Rocket and Nebula, I seen that was a turning point in the second movie with Ego, where they were there to keep the ship going and they rebuilt the ship, and we really got to see that transition with them two becoming more friendly. And you could see I think it was a rift between some of them too because of her. Like she caused issues between every single one of the characters. But in this last one, you saw a lot of growth with her, with Rocket, where she really fell in love with him as like a teammate now versus like the annoying little pet that she used to call him. So I thought it was really cool. The transition for the characters did really well in this movie, I thought to myself.
Yeah. I think Endgame really solidified her role with the Guardians, especially because it's her and Rocket that survived, and no one else. They didn't have anyone else. Everybody else was snapped. So where Nebula normally comes off as this cold-hearted bitch who doesn't give a fuck about nobody, she literally broke down in tears when she heard Rocket's voice, and that was emotional for me. It was like, oh, I know, that's so good. And how she responded just to hear him just to hear him speak. So I thought that was how hard she went to save him really speaks to how much her character has grown from when she hated everything and everyone back in the first Guardians.
Yeah, I mean it definitely showed a lot of growth there and where she went from her character, and just even like the comedic timing that Karen Gillian was able to do for the character too in some of the scenes. It's just like it was different from the very cold-hearted character. It's like because in the beginning she was considered like the runoff, like how you said, Bergie, the psychopath villain who just wanted to kill these people. And for the longest time, that's Marvel has either given you villains that's like, oh, like okay, like they're one-off, to like villains that's like, okay, I can't hate them, to like those who have just transitioned from the villain role to more of like, okay, they're just misunderstood, they're actually a hero. Like you've gotten that with Loki, and I'm kind of glad we've seen this with Nebula's character, which gets me excited to see where else they go with her character. if we do get more Nebula down the line, like we did in What If, like how she was completely different from the Nebula we went into the MCU. She had like the long like blonde hair, and she was like the head like of a bunch of stuff on this organization and everything. And so like now, like where's she gonna go with nowhere now that she's going to be running that? So I mean, I just thought it was just phenomenal the way with the character. Does anyone want to weigh in on Nebula before I go on to the next character?
You just said you wanted everybody to weigh in, and you
Yeah.
speak, and now
I'm
you're cutting
asking.
everybody
I
off.
know I'm
No,
asking
I
because
think
sometimes
Now he's just throwing everyone away.
you know.
Yeah.
Although I
Right,
will
was
say,
like,
Bergie and Val gave excellent explanations and whatnot. I don't know what Sebastian was doing over there. He's just wasting time.
oh shit.
A thing that you want to bring up, a thing that you may notice is that whereas it started off, whereas Gamora was more mature, and in a sense, and she was kind of like assured of who she was, it's now flipped, and Nebula has become her older sister or adoptive sister in the sense in the beginning. So that's a cool contrast you can kind of keep. Everything else they said, I don't need to say again. Thank you for your time. I'll be here all week. Tip your waiters.
I would say the one thing, and this is kind of just a general comment in how Marvel deals with these characters, is that this is one of their strengths that I really love that they lean on. Is like you give us these side antagonists and like you put them in multiple movies and grow them as characters, and we kind of see this full transition through a bunch of different mediums. Like I think Loki is the prime example of them doing this, and now Nebula is now another character that has done this. So looking forward to seeing like what they do with future MCU characters, in contrast to Marvel's crutch of how they deal with villains and all that as we try to figure out who our big bads are and all that. So
can I add something really quick that's kind of left field that's not necessarily talking about the same, like Nebula and Gamora real quick? It's really about villains. I'm gonna say this here, and I hope that they prove me wrong or they do better. I think villains for the next 5 years are going to be the mainstay or the main focus for all the movie companies with movies, because it's easier to build or make them anti-heroes, whatever. It's easier to branch out and create a villain story, a really good villain story that doesn't necessarily need a superhero, and versus vice versa, where a superhero needs a villain. So with the villain, you can.
I hope so. Like, honestly,
you think Marvel or movies in general?
Just movies in general, because I think, like, you think of the Joker, examples like that, because we use comic book movies in a sense like that, and then I'll just say Joker. I've called it before, but that's a great look for them, because now you don't have to have Superman or whoever insert hero here to be the focus of whatever. You could just do the villain story and see how messed up the world is and why they are, and people are just interested in that. We're interested in that. Arguably, Rocket Raccoon is technically an anti-hero. Technically, to an extent. I mean, he borderlines between being a hero when he's part of the Guardians, but who he was before, not including this canon. I'm talking about comic books wise. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, we kind of get an actual backstory. I don't believe they actually said that in Marvel in the comic books. I need to look that up. But we're interested in that. So now make that expansive villains. People are going to lose their mind. So I think that's the next wave. I think that's the next big thing.
I think you're right about that, because they showed the advertisement for the next Hunger Games movie, which is a prequel, and it's gonna have a young version of Snow and how his uprising and all that.
But also look at
that universe.
I was going to say, to touch upon what Mayhem's saying, look at all the great villains we do have opportunities to see more on. Look at with Spider-Man, with him, they're going to do a Craven. We have Craven. We could do a Doc Ock. You have the Joker there. There are different characters that we could definitely, grow on that we don't see much in a movie, except for like maybe a 5-10 minute fight scene, a little bit of background story, the superheroes throughout the entire movie. Yeah. And now look at what the Joker Part 1 did. That was amazing. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do with Part 2, but also Craven, Venom, all these other villains, they can basically grow that universe on and not just have the hero be the main option.
Well, Penguin's getting his own show too.
Yep.
The Penguin.
That's it. Yeah, on Max.
Yes, but it all depends on how it's portrayed, and I don't know that a lot of them, other than stuff like Loki and like, honestly, Loki is one of like the stronger aspects that I feel like we've seen of a villain story turned like anti-hero story. I would love to see like more of that like throughout. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing like the Thunderbolts. I'm looking forward to seeing stuff to come, but I don't know. I know Marvel could do well with a good story. I don't trust Marvel enough yet because they still haven't shown me that they can do well to keep a villain other than Thanos right now, to keep a villain long enough to let them grow, let them do their thing, and like actually feel like a threat. Because even in Quantumania, your boy Kang was like, cool, he's a threat, but he was one and done. Like, granted, there's more versions of him, all this other stuff, but he felt like a one and done, like one trick pony.
I don't think
Versus,
he's done.
Yeah, I don't think he's done.
He's
It's-
not
no,
done.
and he's not done. But like
But,
that version of
yeah.
him was done, and it
No.
felt kind of like it felt kind of weak to me. Where we can see like other like villains come up and like be a threat to where like, yo, let heroes lose. Like heroes
Well,
lose, and like that's a
here-
thing that happens.
Here's an interesting thing, and I just want to ask everybody because in this movie, I feel like we got the first Marvel villain that is actually truly hated. I read a lot, I've been reading around how a lot of people felt like this is the first one they really hated in the MCU because we've had a lot of villains in the MCU.
Because he tortured animals.
Yeah.
It's-
That's
it was
the
a lot of
only
stuff.
reason why.
But-
like, listen,
You
he was
understand?
Wait.
He was
But
good.
we never saw a body. We never saw him die because again, Rocket didn't kill him. So it's like, is there potential? Do you guys think that we may see
Possibly,
him?
and I don't want them to like bring him back just to like be back for like something like MODOK, like that. Like for me, that was a waste of.
Listen,
of
MODOK was
bringing
gonna
back.
be a lot of people have been MODOK was gonna be a waste of time regardless how you did this
but like
character.
but like if he does come back, cool, because I think I don't know enough about his story to like warrant anything else other than what I've seen in the movie. But based on what I saw in the movie, I was like, damn, like
It's,
he's got
comic
a
is
comic book
great
version is very different.
Yeah.
And very much involved in different things. He has with Nathaniel Essex, Sinister. The comic book version is very different from what we've seen here. So I don't know if we're gonna get it that at all because it also ties
The
into
locations, kids who were
Yeah.
born. Like, there's so many connections to him that they kind of boiled it down to just kind of, New Earth and the animal experiments and the Newmans
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Where all the other stuff, like that mountain you see in Multiverse of Madness,
Wendigo.
that's where his operations are. Like, he has operations there.
He's technically when Fox and Marvel were beefing, they made Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver technically experiments of the High Evolutionary, instead of them being mutants at the time. I don't know if they've retconned that, but there's a lot that he's involved with. There's a lot of genetics with Sinister. Him and Sinister partner up often, so we're not. It's a completely different person from what
if they somehow like can tie that together, because I love Mr. Sinister. Like, if they can tie that together, I'm in.
We'll see. I doubt it.
I don't know. I think I liked the High Evolutionary. I think it's the same. I think it's the same issue that Marvel has though with their villains. Like, they've gotten better with having good villains in the movie.
Yeah.
But then it's just like then they're gone.
Yeah.
Then they're just gone. And like, I knew in the Infinity Saga, Thanos was going to be the big bad. We knew it from the end of Avengers 1. So we knew no matter what bad guy we got, we were going to get Thanos, and Thanos was going to show up. And the way they presented Thanos, because the first on-screen time you see him is Guardians 1, and he's on there for 5 minutes, and he flexes. And I'm like, I can't wait to see him do this to everybody else when he flexes on Ronan. I was like, I'm here. That was what I was most excited for to see. Guardians 1 was his 5 minutes, and then I ended up loving the movie because it was a pleasant surprise. We haven't gotten that with Kang. We've only gotten the little snippets of Kang, and I like what we've gotten, but we still don't know like what that major threat is. And we also know we have Fantastic Four, and where's Doom gonna be involved in this, because we know we're getting Doom. So it's just, we've got these really great villains coming into these stories, and then they're gone. Shang-Chi, great villain, gone. This movie, great villain, most likely gone. And so
they could have had a great villain with Ego. Like, Ego is one of like the bigger bads. Like, he's a celestial cosmic being, whatever the case is. And they were just like, yeah, we're gonna kill him. And it's like, bro, like, granted, that Star-Lord's dad and Star-Lord's part, whatever the case is, cool, whatever. But you're just gonna like just kill a god like for funsies? Like y'all struggled with Thanos, but you're gonna kill your dad for funsies? All right, cool.
Virgie, you were saying something?
I was gonna say, I mean, I think the High Evolutionary is not like a top tier villain for the Marvel universe, so I can understand why he's a one and done guy in a way, because he makes sense in this type of movie with Rocket and Layla, whatever her name is. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry,
Layla.
but I think she is just one of those type. They're just one
He
tier.
did.
Agreed.
He
The first
did
one.
off screen.
He did.
Off screen.
No. He
Screen.
killed the first god, his god. He did kill him. When he
Right.
got the sword.
He
Right.
killed the god, but it was a weak god. Like,
He
come
was
on,
already
I mean, that's-
dying,
it's
like,
So
like,
it
you know,
he didn't butcher the god. He killed the
Like
god.
I wanted to see some shit. Like
I
he
want to
should
see some butchering.
he should have been a villain that
That's
should
what
have
we-
stayed. Like
Yeah.
fuck it. Oh my god, that's still
if you're
still
called
pisses me
Gore the
off.
Butcher, you should butcher somebody. He just stabbed
They-
somebody. He
They
skewered
want to
him.
show it to the children. Think about
Yeah,
the
they,
kids.
they dropped.
But
They, I
instead, the
feel like
children run around with
I hardly say this, but fuck them kids.
that's
a rabbit with powers. Like, come on now, Easter Bunny with powers. That was horrible in that movie.
Listen, they dropped the ball with that movie. That movie was dropped hardcore. It was dropped on its head and it couldn't recover.
I think
No, I
Back
feel-
to Guardians.
Yeah, back to Guardians. Yeah, Mike.
I was gonna say I think to an extent, some villains need to appear to have died to be impactful. I don't know if this gentleman here, Mister also purple body. Oh wow, I can't say that. So I don't think this villain needed to die. I was gonna go left field. But at the same time, I agree with Burgess. He's important for like a thing, and then that's it. Like I don't know if they can reuse him yet, but that's the brilliance of it, because he may become important later as long as they don't kill him. To go back to my point, somebody like a villain like Killmonger, I think, needed to die. Ultron seemingly died. We don't know if that's true.
They fucking better bring him back.
I think so too.
They've
I
teased
think
him
so
so
too.
damn long.
Young
I think
Avengers,
so
bring
too.
him back.
And he is a threat.
There's
Roger.
rumors he's supposed to be back in the Armor Wars,
We
is a
still
rumor.
have a white vision.
Yeah.
Where did he go?
right?
He's building the ship of Theseus.
Let him
probably
build.
right.
Let him cook.
Those that don't
So let's
last.
try this again. Villains don't last because the villains don't last because we lose our mind if they last too long. It's like
Here's the thing, though. I
I
don't
don't know
think
who this we is. I'm not part of that.
No,
I want some story. I want some.
Yeah.
so. Like,
First
if
of all, I would say me and Tone especially, our team like give us good stories and give us good villains. Like
I,
So
I
all
love
day?
the interweaving
yes,
grand schemer puppet master villain, and I feel like we
Yes.
just haven't gotten it in this saga.
yes.
so like you look at like a villain like Mysterio, right? I thought Mysterio was dope. Arguably, like just take Spider-Man. Spider-Man was literally in jeopardy of having his villains outshine him. I like Tom Holland as Peter Parker. He's my favorite Spider-Man and Peter Parker, if you ask me. But his Vulture and his Mysterio was amazing. We're not even going to
Yeah.
talk about the third movie, okay? They could have killed Mysterio and then have somebody pick up the mantle. We got no inclination of that. And that happens. You know, Spider-Man fights this Mysterio, then he dies, but then he's replaced by somebody else. And, you know, you got to remember that. They could have done that, but they just said, nope, killed him in France. No, I'm sorry, in the UK, whatever. That's it. He's not coming back anymore. You know what I'm saying? That was it. So as long as we use them and they become integral, like that would be amazing. Like imagine a part where Spider-Man beats up the Sinister Six and goes after the Kingpin, threatens his life, and it comes back around to haunt him again. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be amazing. We would love to see that, but they're just killing villains that have a literal track record of coming back and better stories, whatever. And they're just like, nah, this was just made for this movie. Good luck.
Well, I think what they with the shows they changed on that because Vincent D'Onofrio with him playing Kingpin, they're bringing him back multiple times now.
He was a big hit.
Unfortunately, the writer strike is going to delay some stuff even further now. Again, I'm for the writers, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, I get it. You get a lot of these villains like Ultron felt wasted, but like how Burgie said, rumors is that he may come back from Armor Wars because Ultron exists as a programming. There's no doubt that Ultron probably backed himself up because you can easily write that because it's been done in the comics where he has
Yes.
backed himself up. I don't think the High Evolutionary is dead. I think that they're going to keep him in their side pocket, and pretty much when they need to bring him in, they'll bring him in when they need to. Because right now their focus is Kang and this universal war where Kang is responsible for this, because you're hearing about this universal war, you're hearing about this multiversal war, you get a little bit in Doctor Strange about it, and it's like we're starting to get the taste of Kang. If we got Kang before, maybe, but we are starting to get the taste of him now. You have what is it? Other villains like again, I agree with you, Mike. Killmonger needed to go for the time he was, because it felt stronger. If he was alive, I don't think he would have been a greater villain down the line. It's just like it was the impact
It's the
and
impact of
what
the story.
he did, and then because he but villains who were thrown away, like Ulysses Claw, one and done. He was someone that was there. Batrac, but they served their purposes
Not
because
only
they were
was he a
small.
one and done, he was done within like the first third of the movie.
But again, he was used.
Yeah.
But
At least he was in
as a
2
plot,
movies.
Yeah, but he was
There you
used
go.
as a plot point.
There you go.
Used as a plot point to further Killmonger, because it just made Killmonger even that more dangerous.
Yeah.
Even like Obadiah Stane, who was the first Iron Man villain. You still have Tim Roth's character who's still alive.
Say his
He's
name
in
again.
prison. Obadiah Stane.
Oh, you
That's
said
not
it
what you
right.
said before.
That's not what
But
you said before.
the real villain here is Gamora's hair. Let's talk about this.
Oh God.
She could have worn a hat.
I don't know. If
I
it's
ain't
her
talking about no green woman's hair, okay?
Or
I ain't about it.
stylist.
Look, I listen. I've been patient. I've been trying to talk about this. Can we talk about how the same space?
You got a pass from Pong.
Oh, okay, cool.
No. Seabass got a pass from Pong.
Yeah.
Oh,
see
okay.
that. For the Obadiah.
So the space that Mr. Jesus, I forgot his name. Oh my God. So
Give me
anyway,
some characteristics.
the leader of the group.
Will?
Star-Lord?
Peter
Yes, I couldn't
Quill?
remember his name. I couldn't remember his actual name because I'm
Chris
thinking.
Pratt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, and I was like, I don't want to say his name. So Chris Pratt's character, Star-Lord, he almost are we doing spoilers on this show?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So okay, just want to make sure. So he almost dies. The real villain
Are
here.
the real
And I
villains.
was
Yes, they are.
Yikes. In the space that he almost dies in, nobody else dies in. You know, the creatures go into the ships and nobody's like suffocating or nearly turning frozen. Anybody remember? Saw that? I kind of want to pick
Wait.
that.
Oh, the space thing when he's in
Yeah.
space and does a Yondu, but then does a reverse Yondu. I kind of hand waved that. I'll be honest with you. I hand waved it after they did the Michelangelo hand of God to Adam thing. I was like, all right, well,
Oh, that was
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
I was like, all right, he's
because
alive. I
they
hand
were
waved
two
of all
vessels.
the things we got. I hand waved it. I was just like,
I understand, but it's just like two vessels
especially
crashed
'cause he
into each
started-
other.
He started inflating. I
Yeah.
was like, Yondu didn't even get that bad.
Bro, I started to cry.
Yes,
I'm
I
like,
did.
I couldn't believe.
did.
I really thought he was gonna die. I really thought he was gonna
Yeah.
die, and I was like, damn. After all of that,
But then
y'all
again,
really
it's
gonna
like
Shout
kill
out to Zune.
Will?
Also, so before
I
we
love
jump,
my
before
Zoom,
we
man.
jump
I'm on
anywhere
Team Zoom.
else,
I love that thing.
I just wait. I just want to add to this.
I had a creative
before
Zen
you jump
player.
in. It's just, if you really remember, like in the first Guardians movie, he was supposed to die when he grabbed the stone. It could have been answered with that cosmic blood that he was the son of Ego. So I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say.
No,
No.
but
We're
Just
gone.
we're throwing that out.
he lost.
It's
that
gone
in
after
part
they killed
2 when he
Ego.
killed Ego.
He lost his celestial.
He may have some. He may
But you
have
got to
some residual.
remember, okay, fine, we'll give him the pass, whatever. But a couple scenes back, there's some people who were in the ship that should have died when like the ship literally, the hull and window crashed in. So space is coming in. Why didn't they die?
I mean, earlier or
I
when?
remember-
Yeah,
It's
early
like with
before,
the-
like
with the
right
head.
in the same sequence.
When they were when Rocket was getting attacked by those things, and
she does, but then we're
what's
not
his
talking
name
about
jumps
that.
in.
I don't even watch that show. So.
Okay, I'm not even gonna lie to you. She's had it for longer. She's had it for longer. So let's not.
It got better over the. It got better over the
No,
season.
it's
But
lying
that
to
first
the
one.
No,
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 don't
no,
defend it.
No,
Don't
don't
do it.
lie.
Can we
You're
not
a
talk
liar.
about those
You're a liar.
DC TV shows?
See? See?
That'll have to be
No,
another
he's
whole
a liar.
episode.
He's a liar. Don't listen.
Hold on,
Somebody
we're
got-
gonna have a hair
We
Sebastian's
don't even
trying
watch
to
them. That's
Sebastian's
Seabass.
trying to get
Seabass watches
invited to
all
the
that
next
garbage.
DC premiere.
No, it never gets
He is,
better. It never
though.
gets better though. He's lying.
What's that press pass for DC? I've been talking positive about your shit since day
See,
one.
listen, when I'm
I've
there
never
with
seen
James
much
Gunn
more
chilling,
glowing
having an
orange skin ever
Austin,
on-
we good.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
goodness.
I will say this: James Gunn did a great job in this last Guardians. I'm happy with how it ended. I feel like it concluded the way it needed to conclude. I wasn't expecting some of the things, so I was pleasantly surprised. Um, I think that if he can do what he did with Guardians and have the
He must
control
start
for
every
DC, they
show.
should do well.
Everyone agrees it's garbage.
Yes. Yes.
Yo, Mike. Yo.
That's
Yo,
very
Hugo's
true.
on it, man. That's a
Thank you,
huge
Hugo.
I'm with you on
observation.
it, though,
Hugo.
dude.
That
I'm a
is
DC fan myself. I've
accuracy.
watched all the trash ones. I'm with you, man.
Thank you, Bergie.
Don't-
Thank you.
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll have
Thank
to
you,
do, we'll have to
Bergie.
do an
Bergie,
appreciation
nah.
for DC shows one time, just me and you.
There are
That's
levels
what we
that
call
this
out.
man is on that you do not want to be on right now. Like,
You don't want to be
put yourself-
associated.
I
Don't
don't
put yourself in that same
one
boat.
You don't want to
bad
be a
anime
known
episode.
associate for
One
the
bad
garbage
anime
shit he
episode.
watches.
One bad
Oh
anime
my
episode, and I'm like
God.
forever blacklisted.
No. That's an inaccurate statement. Don't lie. It's not
Listen.
one bad show. It's several bad shows.
Oh, come on.
We all
All
have
right.
trash TV we would like
No.
to watch. It's all good. We all have it.
No, Sebastian.
we're gonna
has a
we're gonna
collection.
we're gonna,
All
we're
right.
gonna
I have a
breeze past
question. I have a question. Okay. How did everyone feel about Adam Warlock?
I was just gonna
Oh,
get to that.
because
I've been dying for someone to go about
please,
this.
Me
please.
personally,
please.
I was kind of like,
Someone.
I
Wasted
wasn't.
leader.
It just felt like just threw him in.
He was a wasted fucking character
I'm
in this
like,
movie.
Yo, he
the fuck
wasted.
was this?
So I want to start off by saying I was trying to be nice. This movie to me was a 7 at a bar. Way after drug. Don't get me wrong, it's enjoyable. I understand. I'll definitely agree with you. But when you look at it for the meat and potatoes, I'm glad it didn't suck. I don't know if you guys curse, so I'm just gonna say suck
go ahead.
balls.
Fuck.
It does not suck ass. No, let's be real. Let's be real. When it comes to triple movies, when movies in threes, something always goes fucking wrong. Goddamn Batman. But
Except Civil War. Civil
Oh
War was
my
a great
God.
3.
Yeah,
fair enough. I'll give you that.
that
I'll
was
give you
probably the best one out of the
It was
trilogies
the
if
best
they're
of the
doing it.
threes.
Fair enough. So for me personally, I was just like, what? All right, I'm still enjoying myself. It's not a great time. Adam Warlock was just the most hyped up shit that we were like, oh, he's gonna come in this movie, he's gonna tear shit up, and it's gonna be amazing. And then they made him a little bitch.
They claimed
No,
he was
no,
out of the
they-
cocoon too early and still in
Hold
the
on.
mind of
But
a
not be a man of
child.
his.
Oh.
This man could fly through space, but not say no to his mom.
But the fact that he's
I'm
supposed to be
gonna throw
powered
a
by
flag
the-
on this play. Hold on. Time
Wait,
out. Time
Virgin,
fucking
Virgin,
out.
let
Go,
Virgin
Virgin,
in law.
go.
Virgin in law.
I was just gonna say, let's talk about the fact that he's supposed to have the Mind Stone. Like he's supposed to be one of the most powerful characters
that-
in
that
the
in
Marvel
MCU.
universe.
No,
Right,
but in
no, I
the
get
MCU
that.
that's changed. We know he doesn't. We know he
But
doesn't have the
but
mind
that's the
stone.
problem with
Yeah.
introducing him now.
But
is
that's
that
the
he
problem.
didn't
He's-
have
right.
the Soul
No,
Stone.
exactly. He doesn't have the Mind Stone. He's one of the most powerful characters that can basically stand up to any of these celestial gods in a way. And he basically had a hard time dealing with Rocket, Gamora, Nebula, and
His
everything.
mom.
Like, come on. Like, Drax threw him around like a little bitch. Like, he shouldn't have moved him. That was like where we had Miss Marvel there that went toe to toe with Thanos, and Thanos had to take the Power Stone and put it in his hand to punch her and knock her out. She should never have stood to him with 4 Infinity Stones in his hand. Same thing with this one. Wasted character and a decent actor at best. I don't think he was a good character for this movie.
I think what.
No.
So this is my. Go ahead, Law. Go ahead, Law. You threw the flag.
Well, essentially, yes, I'll agree to most of what you like 95%
That's the
of
soul
what you said.
stone, not the mind stone.
Oh, so my bad. I'm sorry.
But essentially, they were like they hinted at him so early, and every one of us, even people who weren't like huge fans, we knew enough to go, that's fucking Adam Warlock.
Mhm.
Oh shit, they're gonna fucking drop Adam
the
Warlock.
the cocoon when we
Yeah,
got it in
yeah.
Guardians?
When we got
Yeah.
when we got it, we were like, cool. That's gonna change the entirety of this Infinity Saga, and it didn't. And
we were like, we know where the Soul Stone is.
Exactly.
Cool,
Right.
and then nothing.
No,
We got nothing.
Yeah,
it's
they-
with
So
the red
now-
skull.
So
Gotta
now it's
murder
one of
your
those
daughter.
things where it's like we put him out there like Cosmo. We gotta fucking use him.
Yep.
No, because at that point he's wasted. For that, save his ass and throw him in the next Eternals movie or some shit like that. Because right now he's doing nothing for me. Like literally, he came in and I was like, "Oh, he about to be a problem." Cool. Then he just left and went back to mom and like did all this other shit. And I was
See?
just like,
Mom.
He went
I
home to
heard
mommy.
that
Mommy,
he
they
don't
beat
even
me
wanna
up. The
do it
bullies beat
anymore.
me up. I
He
need
doesn't
to
wanna
be
come
healed.
back.
I
No,
think-
I get
But
I
it's-
get the story
it's-
progression in regards to like if you take just don't call him Adam Warlock and he's just a stronger person. He's a person from whatever, I forgot what they're called, or something, or he's like a creation of High Evolutionary. You call him Adam Warlock. It's the thing. You call someone a character from a comic book. There are predetermined. We have unconscious bias on these comic book characters once they come on the screen, and sometimes they hit or they hit. I just need a couple notes to hit, and I'm okay. I got nothing.
Yeah,
I got nada for Adam Warlock based on what we know from Adam Warlock during the Infinity Saga from Jim Starlin and all that. There was nothing.
I feel with Warlock, so this is just.
Well, why introduce? Hold on. To Pong's point, I think they just introduced him, but his bigger story would be later. Then why introduce him now?
Well,
his bigger story should have been part of the
and scarred. I don't want him anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
the actor doesn't want to do it anymore. He doesn't want to have to work out.
No, I thought that was Drax.
No, the actor who plays Adam Warlock, he can't handle the intensity of the workout to be able to keep up to the Marvel standard.
Okay, here's the thing.
If Jackman can do it, that boy can do it. I don't care.
First of all, and then it's not like you're doing it every day, all day.
He has a suit on. He's not even flexing real muscles.
So which is the problem.
Show muscles. All
right, let me time out. No, so Adam Warlock, I remember originally they said that he was going to be introduced into the Infinity Saga, but it's like there was a lot of stuff. In order to introduce Adam Warlock, you got to introduce the Infinity Watch. You got to introduce a lot of stuff, and that was a lot of things that just weren't going to be done. That was a lot of things but
Infinity Watch happens after
it happens.
The story.
Yeah, but that happens after Gauntlet. But again, this is something that
which would have been the second phase. I'm sorry.
Again, it's no. It's just
this would have led into this could have been the after effect, and it had been phase 4.
But this is the problem, right? We're going through right now is that we're going through now the multiverse saga. So we had Adam Warlock, and I'll be honest, I'm one of those people. I'm glad they didn't bring him in because he would have been rushed. We've seen what they do with rushed characters because when they rushed the first when they rushed the first Thor movie. We all know that felt like a made for TV movie when they everybody how they felt about the first Miss Marvel movie. Some people felt like they kind of rushed that just to introduce the character, and they feel like she was the replacement for Adam Warlock, which going back to what you're saying, Bergie, because it was like them trying to really push a female superhero character. So like let's push Miss Marvel because at the time they're like Captain Marvel, yeah. So that was it was also too with the imprint because they were doing that in the comics too. They were making they had just turned her from Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel in the comics, so they were really pushing the character. So Adam Warlock kind of took the wayside. Now there was no secret that Kevin Feige said that they were going to start exploring more galactic stuff in this next phase after Thanos. So that opened up the world like we got with the Eternals, the Celestials, and I agree. Like, yeah, I would like to see him after this Guardians movie come back in Eternals 2. And I want to see like the character, like his growth and progression. It's not the Adam Warlock that we're all familiar in the comics. It's just, I would like to see where they do go with the character. And from what you said, Val, if it's true that the actor can't handle it, just until he gets that paycheck, maybe he might change his mind. But it's like if he's like that, it gives me similar vibe. It gives me similar vibes to the guy who also played Iron Fist, where he didn't keep up with the training regimen because
But also keep in mind, this is a character, the kid that plays Warlock also quit Hollywood for a couple of years because people made fun of him. Yeah. So he might do that again, or he may never want to play Warlock if people bash on him for the character.
But
he
also
might never get Warlock again.
But Marvel 2 will also recast. Let's be honest, like they did that with
nothing on the actor because I like the actor. I think he's a great dude, and I think he would be a great fit for Adam Warlock. I, however, still think that this was a waste opportunity of a character that we're all like hyped about because it's one of those things like, all right, they got a cameo of Howard the Duck more right than Adam Warlock. How does that even begin to make sense? Like, we're more like, yo, Howard the Duck made more sense in this whole like fucking saga than fucking Adam Warlock. Why?
You know what the other thing too is like, okay, fine, you want to introduce Adam Warlock after Infinity and all this, but you teased Adam Warlock after Guardians 2, which is like so, and then we waited because Guardians 2 came out what 2014? Is that when Guardians 2 came out?
Maybe.
We waited almost 7-8 years, and now we have Adam Warlock after Infinity. I would have been better if we want to revamp the Adam. Okay, so 2017.
So we want 1 was 2014.
We want that one because my son was born. Okay, so 2017. So it's been a couple years. So if you want to revamp the Adam Warlock character and take him away from Infinity and kind of morph it into however we're going to use him, make him part of like doing something with the Beyonders or some shit like that with the whole thing we're doing that we're going to get in Secret Wars. I'm cool with that if we never got that teaser, because you give us that teaser, it's like, okay, cool. We know what the Soul Stone is. It's with the Sovereign, and we're going to see Adam Warlock and do this whole thing. But it's not. We go through Thanos. We do the whole thing. We go through phase 4. We're in phase 5. Adam Warlock is there. He got out of his cocoon early, and he's a fucking child. And he's not the Adam Warlock that we know. And we're like, what are we doing with this guy?
Well, in the comics, he actually is, because of the Soul Stone, he has not been fully developed in a way. So he does partner with the Guardians to basically become more of a mature adult and more mature, hero per se. So I get that aspect of him, but he was a wasted character in this movie. Just I wasn't feeling it.
For all intents and purposes, like them sending him after Rocket to get him back, just to fail and then like be like this whatever side dude, and then at the end for them to save him and like, oh, why'd you save me? Or everyone deserves a second chance. He wasn't really a threat. He was an annoyance to them, and then they were like, bro, you're not a bad dude, you were just working for the wrong dude, like your mom. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it wasn't even his
Mayhem
mom.
almost had a Martha moment.
Yeah. Mama blew up with the shit.
Do not get him started. Do not get him started. Matter of fact, Sebastian, the middle square guy, right here, bottom, square bottom guy. Let me tell you something, Sebastian. Your explanation and your agreement with DC right now leaves my coochie scarred and dry, and I will not have any of it. I will not have any of it. I don't care if you see me on the press cover ride, because it's
good to have you back, Mike. It's good to have you
desert back over here.
Damn. I'm sorry. Look, I agree with Tone. I agree with everybody else is saying. They hyped us up, especially after the second. I think it was the post end credit scene.
One of the 5.
Fair enough. And we were like, oh shit, things about to go down. Okay, fine. Things happen without him. You still could have wrote a story that made him more impactful and set it up. Instead,
Cosmo was more impactful in this story than Adam was.
Val,
there you go.
I don't think he was that bad. I understand where you may feel like he wasn't a strong enough. I thought he provided some form of comedic relief, some form of something different, and the purpose of him is because of where the Guardians are going to be. So he may have more of a role later on as the character anyway, but I don't think it was that bad. I'm not mad at it. He reminds me of maybe a young Superman who doesn't know what the hell he's doing yet.
Young Superman. Okay.
So Gamora's
essentially pulling a Superboy. Essentially, he's Superboy.
Yes, exactly, because he doesn't know what he's doing yet, and he's still learning, and he's stumbled across through it. And I think that isn't it. I don't hate it. Could it have been better? Absolutely. Should it have happened way a long time ago, especially his character being tied to the Infinity Stones? Yes, but with what MCU has done, we know they don't keep it close to the comics. And the comic book fans, we already feel we get cheated out of certain things. But I learned, thanks to Fox a long time ago, expecting to see what I love in the comic books on the screen isn't realistic. With that said, I'm kind of going to take it for what it is. And what they gave me, I'm not mad at. Granted, yes, it should have been stronger. He should have been more put together based on what we know from the comic books. Should have come into Infinity. Yes. Not a disagreeing there, but I'm also not mad with what I got.
Honestly, I'm interested in seeing, like, at the very end they gave us this Guardians lineup with him, Rocket, Groot, Falaval, yeah.
Oh God.
I know. I mispronounced it. And Kraglin and Cosmos.
I'm starting to think you're doing it on purpose.
It's not on purpose.
Well,
It's
did you
not.
hear him say Thanos? Not Thanos. Thanos. Earlier,
Thanos.
no? Okay.
There's
Listen,
a
get
lot
to the
that he
garden.
says, though.
Let's get to the garden. No, I'm interested. Like, I would like to see that new lineup because, like, again, in the comics, the Guardians always had a rotating lineup,
Yeah.
and I feel
they
like
still do.
yeah, and I feel that the heart of the team is leading the team now, which is like I feel like it's just I would like to see their continued adventures and to see their character growth because now you have the leader in Rocket, you have Groot, and then you have Kraglin who grew in this a little bit because he learned how to use Yondo's weapon. And then you
Whistleblade.
the whistle blade, yeah. And then Cosmos, like get me more Cosmos. Cosmos was awesome.
Cosmos, like the show
How,
hosted
how,
by
how
Carl
did
Sagan.
how did you guys
So,
feel about
Yondu Cosmo?
Yeah. No, you said Cosmos.
And you
That's the
said
Cosmos.
Yondo.
You said Cosmos.
Oh, that's where we're going with this.
Yeah.
Um,
Steve has to struggle with the English language.
oh,
Did you take yourself out? Come back.
I did. That's it.
You can't
I
remove
can't pronounce
yourself.
shit.
It was very good dog. Very good dog. We love that dog.
Yes,
Cosmo, Cosmo
There would
was
be
a
there would
very
be
good
no
dog.
slander of Cosmo on this show.
that's fair. I
Except
did
the
enjoy
fact
that
that
joke.
She couldn't drop. She couldn't get dropped. She couldn't drop that she got called a bad dog for hours.
Because she wasn't a bad dog.
She wasn't a
It's a
bad
dog-
dog.
No, it was funny
Kraglin
with
was
the
just
poker
was
scene.
just not
I-
confident in himself.
Yeah, it was.
I am completely over Kraglin. I am so over seeing this guy. Bring back Yondu. I don't care about James Gunn's brother. I'm sorry.
Listen, James
Um,
Gunn keeps the same people around. And you see it in all of his
Well, his
properties,
wife was
He
in the
puts his
movie.
people in
Yep.
there.
Yeah,
He,
his
he
wife was
puts
in the
his
movie. Yep.
people. Yeah,
But that's the
it's-
same thing that Kevin Smith did. Kevin Smith did the same thing. A lot of directors do that when they're like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna bring some of my friends. They'll do some of their roles." Like, for example, who was it? Liam? No, was it Liam Nilsson? No, it was Daniel
Nathan
Craig.
Fillion.
Well, Nathan Fillion was there, but Daniel Craig, I remember in the Star Wars movies, he played a stormtrooper.
Yep.
A lot of people
So
didn't
did
know
Kevin
Daniel
Smith.
Craig was in, Kevin Smith and all that. But like, yeah, no, James Gunn will bring his friends into a lot of his movies. Like even Pete Davidson was in this movie as one of the guards. No one
I
knew
saw
that.
that.
As a James Bond 007 Daniel Craig fan, can I tell you how disappointing his role was in Star Wars as a trooper? Because I was expecting so much more.
I
and
mean,
I was,
he was
I
just
know.
he was just a
I
paratrooper.
know, I know, but
What do you
still, like, don't get
mean?
me wrong. I'm happy he got the check. I'm happy he got the notoriety. I was just expecting so much more. You know what it was? It was
So
that
Mayhem,
movie.
you wouldn't say yes to wearing a stormtrooper uniform?
I honestly
I
don't think.
would.
I honestly think
For
he
a
should get
line?
paid for it.
Yeah, I would.
I think he did it just to do it, and was like, I don't even need
Even
to be
still,
paid.
the
Yeah.
notoriety or the
Listen,
pay.
Gwendolyn
and, or,
Christie
it was
got
like-
shafted,
it was like-
so listen.
but
It was
but
like
look,
Brad Pitt did the whole role in Deadpool 2 for he only asked for Ryan Reynolds just to bring him a cup of coffee, and that's what
Yep.
Ryan Reynolds did.
Oh, that's
He
dope.
was on set for like what, 5 seconds?
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
Bro, he
5-second
literally
cameo.
just recorded himself getting electrocuted.
yeah,
All he needed
that's
to
it.
do.
That's all he did for a cup of coffee.
When he was
Which
finished with
is
the cup of coffee, a
hilarious.
scene was done.
and he went home.
I mean, if you're
Even
talking about,
James
like-
Bond, what
Aim?
misses? Yo, yeah, like, all right. So hear me. Yes, I did expect him to aim.
I
Because
agree.
I expected
Morales,
that movie.
agree.
Like, it was James Bond, and then I forgot the commander's name, who was all in that glittery suit, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be used for the lightsaber. It was gonna be a dope battle. Somebody's gonna get it. None of that shit happened. I don't know what I went into that movie expecting. It was good. It was better than what came after that. But it was just I expected 00 to do some shit in space, and I was like, yes,
Double O in space.
that'd have been
Nah,
amazing.
nah.
Daniel Craig, his best role is in Knives.
Don't
the
you dare
Knives
say
Out.
Cowboys and Aliens. I'm
No,
sorry.
Knives Out.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Knives Out. Is
Knives
that's
Out?
his,
Wow.
that's his best character.
I don't know.
I was waiting for a Matt
kind of
Damon
disagree. I kind
cameo.
of disagree
Damon
only
reference.
because that's a strong character, but I think Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace was really good too.
Casino
For
Royale is
storyline.
very
I
good,
thought
but
we were
Quantum of
talking
Solace,
Guardians.
we are. Val, you know what
I know
happens?
it's a
Quantum of
tangent.
Solace got
Tangent.
hit with the
Yo,
writer's strike.
Val is
Welcome
yo.
to
Val be
Madness.
like, yo, we on a
It's the
tangent. Fuck
Thunderdome.
that shit.
I thought you do
tangents here.
tangents
He's like,
here.
I'll leave. I don't
Thunderdome.
talk James Bond.
What did
Can't
Quantum
deal
get
with
hit
these
with?
English white boys.
No, first of all, I like him. Are you up to date with the Ted Lasso?
Come on, man.
Bro, that's so
Gotta
good.
watch my new episode tonight after
I
all
know, I
this is
can't wait.
over. Come
I
on.
was dying the
Come
episode
on.
when he's learning how to ride a bike.
Oh, we could do
Freaking love
tangents
him
about
so
Ted
much.
Lasso.
Oh my
We've
God.
been telling you to watch Ted Lasso for a
I'm
while
telling
now.
you, you guys don't
Ted Lasso's a
understand
good
how
show.
good Ted
See?
Lasso
Thank
is.
you.
I know.
Thank you.
I
Thank
know
you.
it
Thank
is.
You know what? Since we're talking about good shows, watch From the series. It's horror. Great, enjoy.
I don't do
What?
horror. I don't
What
do
is
horror.
going? What did I join? What did
Night Agent on
We're in a
Netflix.
tangent.
Yeah, on Netflix.
All right. Obviously, there's a lot more. We've gotten over
Well-
Adam Warlock, and we still haven't touched on the trauma story that is
Yeah,
Rocket
the trauma
Raccoon.
Rocket. Oh
Mm.
my God, my baby.
So we
does
were
anybody-
right in saying, or I think Tone called like that his girlfriend dies, and you know that was oof. Like when we were all doing our like taking our bets,
Well,
we were like
it's-
this person, but the way that it happened, fuck that whole storyline. I was just like, why?
Floor.
It
Bendito
just sucks. 'Cause You're
floor.
watching this flashback, and I'm waiting for this shoe to drop, man.
Yo, for
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the
real.
When
shoe
are
to
they?
drop.
I'm wondering how they're all gonna go.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
damn,
oh,
man.
Because I'm like,
man.
she's not around now. Like they're not showing present her at all.
No.
Mm.
I thought we were gonna get a happy
Mm.
reunion. There was no happy. There was a happy reunion in heaven.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo, and then she was like, "You
And then she
can't."
Dumbledored his ass and
She
sent
was
him
like-
back
she's
to
like,
her.
You
After
can't.
calling him what he was, and he
It's
was like,
Floor.
"I'm not a
Yeah.
raccoon."
Floor is
Floor.
not his girlfriend. Layla is his
No,
girlfriend.
Layla is a girlfriend, but I mean with Floor, it was so when Layla died, but it was Floor. Like you saw the terror. It's like Rocket, run, Rocket, go, Rocket. Like she was
Oh,
just
she
yelling
was in the
Rocket's
background.
name.
Oh,
screaming at him.
Yeah, it was like that. I was like, oh my God, I feel for this one. I can't. I'm not ready for it. I'm not. And
You
it
had
just.
you had the walrus with the wheelchair. I was like, oh man.
Bro,
Teeth.
but
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
when
Bro,
she said
man,
when she
bro.
said when he asked, "Can I stay?" and she said, "Yeah, but not right now." I like lost it. I was like,
I was like, ooh.
because I was fully ready for him
Rocket
to
to
go, and them to go. Okay, like it's time to go,
No.
and then
the way
that-
Peter
them-
was
and
crying.
right. But then it
And
would
he's
just
got
it
the
would
spittle
just
coming out.
it would have just sent them all into a
He
tailspin
had
and be like,
wheels,
"Fuck them."
man.
Yo, it's
He had wheels.
And he put him in a cage. He couldn't move with the wheels. Like, talk about that. Like,
One click shy of the
Damn.
first time it's up. Yeah.
You're not
Oh.
wrong. You're not
Oh,
wrong.
was
man,
that like
it's-
a rabbit tarantula spider thing or something?
Yes.
man?
There was a
It
rabbit
rabbit
with-
with
yeah,
mechanical.
it was
And
a
they-
mechanical leg.
And they put a mouth guard on a rabbit, which I thought was
That
horrible.
reminded me of like
Terrifying.
Toy
He had
Story when
middle
Sid was
teeth.
just remaking his
everybody
Yes,
toys.
else-
it was
Yeah.
Sid.
It was Sid
Everybody,
remaking his
everybody
toys is
else
what it
in
was.
that
Yeah.
cage got it worse than Rocket. Okay, like
Yeah.
Lila lost her arms.
Yo.
My man, Teeth lost his eyebrows and had wheels.
Okay,
Bro.
can I admit something on this show? When I kept watching his girlfriend Layla with the arms. I was like, what are they attached to? Like, what is they like? Does she have?
She did the pick. They had the pickle Rick thing. It was attached to her spine.
Yes.
It kind of reminded me of
my
Jax from
God.
the Mortal Kombat movie where he had to find his kana and his arms grew. I was waiting for that scene here or something.
Nah,
Just saying.
that pickle Rick took me out of it. What?
It's true.
Yeah.
Pickle Rick.
It looked like
It's
it was stapled on her arms, and I'm like, how are they moving? Like, that don't seem right.
If you think about it, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't-
For a high
Yeah.
evolutionary, you should have been a little bit better with his, creations here. I'm just saying.
All right, maybe the high evolution word was onto something.
Yes, yes.
You watch
Oh
it.
God! Oh God! I didn't even think of that. Oh, that's
Well
hilarious.
done, Hugo. Well done.
Muzzled the
Hugo
crazy
for the
rabbit
win.
with the blood stain.
Um,
Nice.
Oh my
That's
god.
good.
Hugo for the win. Oh, we got to send Val that scene. The Monty
Oh,
Python
my-
scene with the rabbits.
Dude, it's
Just
so
put a flesh
funny.
wound.
It's okay. We know.
She looked
No,
super excited.
Val,
She's-
like for me, it's worth that. It's worth that one
No.
scene.
I appreciate that, but no, thank you.
Still gonna send it anyway.
Wow.
No,
No,
but
I do appreciate it, but I really don't care for Monty Python.
but back to Rocket.
God
do
damn.
you-
Back to my
so
English
if
white
you-
guy thing.
Oh, that's what. Okay.
Oh,
Full circle.
wow.
That is
Full
not.
Wow.
Oh,
Can I have
boy.
some more tea?
No.
So wait, back to Rocket. I mean,
He loves Ted Lasso because he's a United States white guy in England. That's
No. That's not accurate. That's not
It
accurate.
is so cold from the shade. I don't know what's going on.
Is it really?
That's it.
Oh man,
It's not accurate, but a lot of it's true.
Anyway,
let me ask you guys: do you feel like after now seeing the backstory, seeing how they reacted when they saw the video of what he did to Rocket, when you look at all the past scenes with Rocket, with losing the Guardians during the Infinity War when they all got phased away, with him getting that argument with Drax when he pulled the gun out at him, he was crying. Do you think now those scenes have more weight with seeing what he went through?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of all those scenes when I saw the shoe on the other foot. When they kept saying he wouldn't talk about it, Yeah. I saw it and I was like, well, fuck, I wouldn't talk about that shit either. Like, Jesus Christ. That was,
and everybody else kind of, you get why Peter's Peter, you get why Gamora's Gamora. Right. Drax is he lost his wife and his daughter to Thanos and Ronan, and he was more raged about it in the first movie and kind of grew through that. You see Mantis, Groot is Groot, and it really was kind of Rocket waiting for that story because we never really got it. We just got Rocket is Rocket.
When Nebula said that what the High Evolutionary did to Rocket was more fucked up than what Thanos did to her, I cried. I fucking bawled. I was like, holy shit.
Right.
I did catch it. That was a pivotal scene too, because we know what he did to her, and we watched it in Infinity War where he basically an Endgame where he had her stretched all out and was doing that and torturing, and she said that was more fucked up. Yo, that was powerful.
Wild. That is fucking wild. And you see it more it's more impactful because of what she's been through, and we know what she's been through, but then you see it again as we're going through his story, and we see him a super excited child of just, oh look, Rocket, that whole scene playing out, and he sees the sky for the first time, he's explaining to all his friends and all this other shit, and then he lets them know oh, this is why you fucked up, this is how you fix it, and then he goes, oh yeah, but you're not coming, you guys were the thing that we needed to get to there.
He was petty.
You guys were the blueprint.
He said you were able to figure out what the thin layer or whatever, but you weren't able to realize that you weren't leaving this place.
Bro.
And I was just like,
fuck that guy.
He gotta die.
Right. Yo,
he gotta die.
It was on site, bro.
He got a dead. He got a dead. You're right. He got a dead.
First of all, he was OD jealous of Rocket's intelligence because he figured out something that you couldn't figure out for fucking years.
Yeah.
And now you want to fucking play yourself? Fuck out of here, bro.
I would like for them to explain why Rocket is so smart too. Is that a thing within raccoons? Because they are a bit problem solvers, but just a little bit of that.
He was just probably the
no, Sebastian. Whatever explanation you're giving me right now, I reject it. My vagina
Mike, go back to Brooklyn.
I wonder why he didn't try recreating that with the other raccoons he had.
He probably did, because to be fair, at the end there were raccoons there, but probably didn't have that much. They weren't maybe as successful.
It was probably the batches because he was making them in batches. Rocket was part of batch 19.
But he
was probably trying to recreate it.
Yeah, he's been making people though. He created the Sovereign, and no other thing he's created has had individual thought, which is what his whole thing was. No one's progressing. No one's doing it. Even when you go to New Earth, they're not progressing. They're just kind of counter. Thank you. They're just kind of just living there, right? Rocket was the only one after being created to have independent thought, and he was just I can't get this. I don't understand it. And he's been creating beings since for as long as they've been talking about. So it's just it was a one instance of just Rocket being that thing. Maybe it's something unconscious in him and himself. I mean, you got people talking about he was, he's just a special individual and it was baked in his DNA.
Can I ask a question? A hypothetical. If the High Evolutionary got his way, do you think he would have stopped making people after he had made people? No. Okay. No. All right. Everybody was really quickly.
You know that old saying. You know that saying with artists. It's we're our own worst enemies when we're creating it. We're looking at stuff I don't like it, and you show it to someone, they're like, oh, but this is fantastic. Nah, it looks like shit. That was the High Evolutionary. It didn't matter what he was creating. He was never going to be satisfied. Look how he scrapped that whole planet after they were like, civilization and everything. He just scrapped it.
He said it, or they said it towards the end when Rocket said, "You're not trying to create, you're not trying to improve people. You're just trying to make them perfect, like your own or image, or whatever the case was. Perfection is a thing that we intrinsically, as humans, know we can never ever attain. We're always going to try for perfection, but perfection is like, what's the saying? It's like perfection is the antithesis of of innovation or something like that. Like every time you try for perfection, you end up like going like 5 steps backwards because you're not just like enjoying like the creativity of the space of that you're in. It's essentially that. Like he is his own, like Seabass said, his own worst enemy. So he's gonna see every new thing like a fucking iPhone. He'd be like, that was perfection 5 seconds ago. Now I need something new, better, and shiny. Like fuck that. He would have never stopped, and it honestly would have just gotten worse.
Okay. And what is perfection to him?
Right.
Because he's, how many races has he created? How many cultures? How many other things that he even said he created?
And he's trying to be. He said he was trying to be God. He's like the gods.
He is God to the people he made.
Right. But what was that line? He said something like,
"Gods don't exist."
Like, so I stepped in because like they weren't doing it right or something shit like that. And
she said, for the love of God, God doesn't exist. That's why I stepped in.
And that's when they turned on him right there. If you notice in that scene too, and then he was like, "Oh, they're rising against me."
Do we know what the silver-haired people that he created that they saved as kids?
I think Rocket's so smart because they're trying to counteract the stigma of raccoons being stereotyped with these and with their eye mask. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think they mentioned what type of kids they were, but obviously it must have been something because Drax understood their language.
Right.
So he had to have interacted with them at some point, somewhere.
But Drax is the last of his kind, right?
Yes.
Yes.
He was supposedly the last of his kind, yes.
So
unless they changed that.
No, I figured that he was there. I was like, could it be
Groot
like
also
it could be an ancient language.
A lot of them, yeah.
Throwaway. Yeah, I'm sorry, Val. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're right. I mean, a lot of the Guardians tend to be the last of their kind for some reason. Now that I'm thinking about it out loud, but
yeah, that's the OG group.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who they are. That's why I'm asking.
It could be. It could be throwaway language that was spread in whatever quadrant. Like they can always fill that in. You know, honestly, they can always come back.
I believe he said the name of it. Was it? Hold on. Was it Orbo? Orbog?
No, also too, if you really think about it, all languages,
Orbog was the organization that the High Evolutionary,
which was a Among Us reference when they were in those color suits.
Yo, go ahead,
bro. I have that in the group chat because I saw it and I was like, I have to put it down because I'm gonna fucking forget it. That shit was fucking amazing. I saw it, and as soon as I saw the suits going, I was like, Among Us, and they stepped out, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, the suits are also like there's a lot of references that James Gunn has confirmed that it's a lot of from from a Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah,
like the suits are influenced from Space Odyssey. There's a lot of some of the panels and some of the lights are some stuff from Space Odyssey. Like there's a lot of that happening.
So really quickly, that color joke about what suit is for what button was amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That was hilarious.
But did anybody? I don't know their names, but for the henchmen in charge on Counter Earth, the pig and whatever that thing was, did anybody think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yes, I did.
And when he changed the turtle into I was like, oh, don't tell me this is how he make Ninja Turtles right now.
I thought the same thing.
I was literally thinking that.
I love the collective minds of nerds were all like,
I was like, is he doing Bebop and Rocksteady?
I literally said that in the theater. I'm like, oh shit, look at Bebop and Rocksteady.
It didn't look like Rocksteady. It was almost like a falcon or something like with but it was definitely Rocksteady and Bebop in a way.
They panned it in such a way when you got closer, you saw it, but I was like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Splinter.
The voice of Warpig was the actress who played Scott Lang's ex-wife in Ant-Man. So she voiced Warpig.
Okay.
They ended up replacing Miley Cyrus with Tara Strong. She took over Miley Cyrus's role.
Which character was she?
Oh,
She
floating
was the
head.
head, the
No
floating
one,
head.
no
The
one
floating
that
head
matters.
from the
Okay.
Ravagers.
Matters.
Yeah, so she ended up taking over
Floating
Miley
head.
Cyrus's role. The actress who was the red alien behind the council that Peter was hitting on and was trying to get them to get into the system, she was Ratcatcher 2 in Suicide Squad 2. James Gunn's
Oh,
Suicide
The
Squad.
security,
Oh yeah, I remember
girl
that
was
girl.
Yeah,
the main
Was it?
blonde
That's
girl
his
from
wife.
Peacemaker.
That's his wife.
yeah, that was his wife.
That's his wife.
That's
That's
James Gunn's
Yeah,
wife.
that's
That's
James
James
Gunn's
Gunn's wife.
hmm
And
So
I know
his
I see
people,
it.
bro.
And
Linda
Layla was
Cardellini
voiced.
did the
Checks for
voice
everybody.
of Layla.
And
Yeah.
You get it,
Layla was
Jay.
voiced
You get it,
by
Jay.
Linda Carlini.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did the voice of Layla, which was Hawkeye's wife,
Yep.
who
Yep.
was supposedly was that supposed to be Songbird, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Nice way to reuse characters.
I
Well, we'll
wonder.
We'll
I
see
wonder
them all
if
in
they're actually
DC
ever
soon,
going
don't
to
worry.
they're gonna-
officially like call her that, or we're just gonna know by a reference of the watch.
I think it's by the watch, the reference of it.
Like they're never gonna. Like,
Because
you
I
don't
think
they're
she's
ever gonna-
retired. I think like she's out where he was
but
still in.
is that would that ever be like a moniker that they pass down or no
For what?
for
Linda Cardellini's
Yeah.
character. I don't remember her name in the
Songbird or not? You just-
Mockingbird?
you just- Mockingbird.
movie. Mockingbird. That's right.
Yeah. It's not
Something bird.
I would love
Well,
to see
it-
her come out of
Bird,
retirement
bird,
and
bird.
like say if they did a Hawkeye 2, like have her come out and
Yeah,
help.
because like
Mm.
it's gonna be interesting because so in Agents of Shield we got Mockingbird in Agents of
Mhm.
Shield, but we never officially got one in the MCU. And we don't know if that's who her character was or who she was codenamed because obviously she did stuff in the field, and that's how she knows I'm Clint. If that's who we're talking about, his wife and all that.
Mm.
But yeah, Agents of Shield had Mockingbird on there, but it was supposed to be part of the MCU, but because of that whole rife when they separated the TV from the movie division, Agent of Shield kind of went off and did their own thing. But also too, there are rumors that some of those cast members from Agents of Shield may pop up back in the MCU due to the whole multiverse. And there's rumors that
Quake's
the-
supposed to show up in
Quake's supposed to show up in Secret Wars.
Secret Invasion. No, in Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yeah. So there are rumors that some of the
Mm.
characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. may be coming back into the MCU, whether it be a multiverse thing or that there's a version of them that existed in the MCU that we didn't know about. So it's going to be interesting in this next phase of bringing back people. Because Kevin Feige got all his
Question.
toys now.
Do you guys think we will get the new version of Guardians in a series on Disney Plus?
Maybe animated. I don't think live action.
I think
I would like an
the
animated.
budget
I'm
would be
not gonna
way
lie.
too big
Yeah.
to do like live action, and it would feel too much like week to week. Like they would have to have like a long going something.
Well, I would think if they went like TV version again, I don't want it to be like the Christmas special where that was a really bad cosplay suit on Groot. And I think that's what we would get if it was a TV series. So I think animated could work because you could really dive in some other episodes, and maybe then we get the High Evolutionary guy back again. You could get that.
I don't think they'll bring it to series. Honestly, I think they'll keep it as a movie thing. It works really well. It depends on the story. There is a lot
So
of
you think we'll get another Guardians movie with the new cast?
yes.
No.
I think
I
so.
don't.
I don't think I think we'll get it with the new cast, but they'll be replaced maybe in the beginning of the movie or halfway through, depending on the story that they get. Honestly, that's what I think. Unless they use a series or a short clip or whatever to explain them. Let's just say them going their separate ways or dying.
The only
and then
way
the OG cast comes back.
the only way we get a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 4 is if the next phase of movies is sucking ass. That's the only way you're going to get
Well,
one.
it's
I think
also too
we're gonna-
depending on what this is going to make because
We're
right
gonna
now
see them
it's-
in. We're gonna see them in Secret Wars. Like I'm
Yeah.
envisioning, like they're gonna come in. They're gonna be in one of the ships. They're gonna be helping because the main incursion is happening, and like we're gonna lose a bunch of people.
Yeah,
And like it's just gonna be like how the comic was. We got all these teams coming in, trying to help each other, trying to navigate and move people out. And we go into Secret Wars where like all the shit. goes down.
also to it, what's going to end up happening is based off of whatever this Guardians movie makes because right now last I checked it was at 239 million and they're
Just
like
for
it's on track.
domestic.
No, that's global box office numbers. It's doing good. They're
But
like
it hasn't. It doesn't hit in China and some of those parts for another week.
not
or so.
yet, yeah, but there's
Yeah.
so far those are numbers coming in globally.
And keep in
and they're
mind,
like
there's also
they're gonna keep.
rumors. There's rumors that there's 3 people that are still under contract. Christopher
Yeah.
Evans still has 1 movie left. Robert Downey Jr. has 1 movie left, or 1 thing left, and so does Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, and
And I was
they
going to say, and Robert Downey Jr. blocked Tom Cruise from playing Superior Iron Man in the Doctor Strange movie. So for him to block it, he had to agree to something. So I think we're going to see them in Secret Wars.
yeah,
I wouldn't
be
put it
surprised.
Wait, is that legit?
They have each of them have 1 movie left for Marvel.
No.
Blocking Tom Cruise.
The blocking Tom Cruise thing. That's legit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He's got pull that he could block Tom Cruise. Go ahead.
I mean,
Mr.
he's the
Downey.
godfather of the MCU.
It's
Go
Robert
ahead.
Downey Jr. for crying out loud.
I'm just saying.
That man made what, 125 million on Infinity War, and I think Endgame was 150 million.
Listen, it's at this point because they're most likely, we don't know a lot of the stuff that's happening behind the scenes, but it's most likely that they are going to be approaching people with like, listen, you can play a variant of your character, and some people are probably going to bite on that because it gives them a chance to actually play something different and the same at the same time. Like, who wouldn't want to play a different version of their character and to do something drastically different than what they were initially doing? Like, who wouldn't want to see, like, think about it, Chris Evans, like, if he would want to play an evil version of Captain America, the one that went Hail Hydra, just to say those words. Who wouldn't want to see Robert Downey Jr. come back and like, oh, this is Superior Iron Man, or like a different version of Black Widow coming out? Like, I think I think a lot of saying, oh, I'm done with the MCU is just them playing around, like, we're just gonna let it be. Because obviously, like, it goes back to Mayhem Mike, when it goes cash the check, they're gonna cash the check. If it's a good enough check, they're gonna cash the check, and they're gonna return.
I don't know. Chris Evans seems very adamant about not
Chris
coming
Evans
back.
Trust me,
He would come back.
Those NDA agreements that they have are no joke.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen live at my show once for Rhode Island Comic Con. Sebastian Stan was on set, was on the floor, and he signed one of the posters for Infinity War, put a little thought bubble around Chris Evans that said, "Arg, I'm Nomad." Somebody tweeted out 5 minutes later, Sebastian Stan was behind the curtain getting his ass ripped by Kevin Feige's lawyers. He came back out. He couldn't sign another thing that was Infinity War or Endgame related. Trust me, I saw it. I watched it. That man looked somber as he walked back onto the floor.
They got them on stuff. Like, their lawyers have them on stuff, like, once it's like, we hear a lot of the rumors, we hear a lot of the leaks, but it's like there's a relationship behind the scenes that we don't know about, that they're like, no, don't, and they keep it silent. Because it's like, we get stuff in trailers that they want to, like, okay, we're gonna give you this, but it's like, no, we're giving you this, and I think that a part of it is that they really want to try to still surprise people when they come and see the movies. Because it's like, when you think about it, the internet age, it's tough to surprise people when stuff is being linked.
I mean, but you also got you've also got separate companies making these trailers and like dropping all this stuff. Like, we all knew who was showing up in Multiverse of Madness because of the trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
we all knew, and that's that marketing company's fault for dropping that. And then the studio being like, here, use this footage. We're not going to tell you not to use this. I
Yeah.
mean, like whose fault is it at that point?
And
Because it's
also
like
the Spider-Man film.
like those movies would have been so much more surprising if we didn't get those. I was still gonna see Multiverse of Madness. I didn't need the cameo to solidify it. I'm still gonna watch Spider-Man 3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know these cameos are gonna
Although-
be in it.
Right.
Although give Andrew give Andrew
one.
give Andrew Garfield credit, because even up until the movie got released, he was like, "Nah, I was never in the movie. I was never in the movie."
Andrew Garfield held his shit tight.
Yeah,
was-
but
he had too hard, because him and
Toby.
fucking no,
Tobey
him
Maguire?
and
Toby wasn't getting interviewed because Toby didn't have any movies coming out. He
Daredevil, him and Charlie Cox are friends. They were roommates for a long time, and they're in the same movie together and couldn't go out together. So they were talking about it where they went to like a restaurant to go eat, but because they didn't want to show like they were together, they sat facing a wall. Like, so he's facing a wall, he's facing a wall. There's like a space in between them, and they're just eating and just there enjoying each other's company, but can't say or do anything.
What
Like
the point of that? Stupid.
because you're on the
Go to your house then. What the fuck is that?
because look at
Just
it.
get DoorDash.
Because why are you both here
Please.
in it? Why are you both here in Atlanta at the same time?
Yeah, and if it's
And,
Atlanta, you can't. If it's Atlanta, you can't. Anywhere
Like-
else, it's cool.
Like,
you can't hang out in Atlanta.
Fucking go
Like-
to, that's stupid.
But if you would have showed up at his place, like in Atlanta, like everyone would have known. Like if y'all show up at the same restaurant and just like,
knew.
oh shit,
We
like
knew.
no one's gonna.
If
What
they-
is
if they
Daredevil
all-
and
if they all
OG
show up-
Spider-Man doing here?
If they all show up at Rhode Island Comic Con, I'm gonna blame Virgie.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Stay tuned. We got some cool cats coming for this year. I'll
Oh
tell you that.
yeah, I get, dude. Honestly, Rhode Island Con was fun. It's always been one of my fun cons going to. But those who don't know, Virgie also helps with Rhode Island Comic Con over there with Cardi's and all that. You've done some great shows, and thank you for up there, man. Killing up there. Can't wait to see what you guys do this year. But no, I mean, Guardians was. I gotta say, for me, Guardians has been probably one of the better MCU movies, right? That's been released in a long time. Like I like Black Panther. I had fun with Ant-Man, but this movie, there was a lot that hit. Like I had a lot of feels, a lot of great character goodbyes. The fact that we're seeing go ahead, Mike. You're raising your hand. You're raising.
Did you just say or kind of allude that the fact that this movie is better than Black Panther?
I said it was
is that-
one of. I said one of.
He
I didn't hear
definitely
that. One
did
of.
allude at that. He did.
I
allude
did
at
not
It.
allude.
He
I
did,
said it was
right?
One of.
He did,
No,
he did.
Racist.
He
All
did.
right. Well,
guys-
this is
oh.
fun.
You know
I'm out
what?
of this show.
No, I know where you're at in Brooklyn, bro.
Don't take me out.
On the last stop of the L train.
I mean, look, I will say for Guardians, it's definitely one of the stronger movies of these Phase 4, Phase 5 movies. I think it's been
It's
It's
I think it's
defi-
one of the stronger of the MCU, like period.
all the MCUs. Yeah, I don't know if it's one of the stronger. I like it. I think Phase 4 and Phase 5
I'd
have
put
been
it top 15.
Okay, well, top 15 out of
Well,
what?
they're only
30
like 30
things?
movies. That's not.
Oh,
that's not
30
saying
movies. So then I'll put it top 10. I thought we were at like 40 something at this point.
Nah.
Let's find out.
I don't know. I just think
numbers
with, like,
numbers in the MCU
with-
are just soup.
Yeah,
for me
right.
at this
They don't
point.
matter.
yeah,
We
like,
still don't know what time. Still don't know what timeline we're in right now. Is it 2025? Is it 2027?
Yo,
2022?
for real.
We don't
it's
know.
It's 2033.
Hell, they still haven't
2026.
explained how there's a hand coming out of somewhere in like Antarctica.
we
So
never
like,
will.
yeah, we don't even know about that.
They said
Give
that.
us Blade.
Well, they touched up on it in She-Hulk, and they said that we may see that hand in Thunderbolts, and it may lead that
To
might
Krakoa.
be a Krakoa or like island where the mutants are staying
Well,
at.
no, they weren't saying the hand. It's supposed to be the head. It's supposed to be Genosha. That's where they're supposed to be. And because of them coming out, it's supposedly rumor is that's how they're creating the mutants right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is because of that
32
head.
films.
that sucks balls. 32 films.
I think it'll be a weak way of bringing the mutants in.
Top 12.
But
they
there's
already
rumor
have a
because-
problem though.
Well, they
Agreed.
said that
Top
because
12.
when they
Well-
did the
well-
second snap, that's how we also got the mutants because somehow the second snap caused so much cosmic energy to hit Earth, and that caused this to happen.
Well, if you
I'm
remember
good
from
with that
wait,
one. I like that one. I
That
like-
gives a little bit better reasoning to how much
But
that
also-
cosmic energy. I can
Well,
understand that.
but also too, if you look at WandaVision, and going back to what Val's point was something she pointed out with Wanda not being tied to mutants, they kind of like when Agatha asked, "You always had this power." It was kind of saying that she had this power before they experimented on her.
She's a mutant.
So they're alluding that she was already
a-
mutant,
yeah,
but
it's
they're
like
just
the
they're tying in
witches
that
are
this whole
mutants.
they're tying in that this whole cosmic energy right now is what's creating the mutant. So we've already had the snap once, then we had the snap the second time.
That wouldn't
we
make
had
sense
this
because
hand.
Miss Marvel also had a mutation in her.
Exactly,
So they
Right.
can't use a cosmic thing if that was
No.
something already there.
but it could increase mutant births.
I would
during the
love
blip.
if I wrote it myself, I would love that the X-Men existed the entire time and no one knows because Professor X was mind wiping everyone after
Tell 'em.
everything,
Tell 'em,
right?
Which we
Val.
could get.
Okay, which we could get, and then we all of a sudden he unleashes the veil from everyone. They're like, "Holy shit!" And they give us snippets of Infinity War, Avengers, the first one.
Tell
Give
them,
us
Val.
snippets with the X-Men there the entire time, and they were just wiped out of their memory because Professor X had to protect their existence.
That's right.
I
Val.
think
Those-
that
they were
would be the
dead. They were
perfect way
dead right.
to bring them in.
That's
Is he
right.
talking about the 2 snaps and unheard Z formation? Because if he's going to live in color, I like that.
I don't know what's happening with
So
this now, but
funny.
okay. Thank you, Mayhem, for hyping me up. But that
No.
would be for me in the perfect
That was
world.
Pong. That was Pong.
How
Mayhem
I would
was
like
agreeing.
that.
You have Pong hyping you up too. In
That means for
Well,
me.
Could
I
also
could go
be
with
the
what
mutant
Val is saying
X-Men.
here because at least then it
They're
holds some
just-
value there because
Oh,
with
okay.
them saying, Amani there is a mutant when she's technically an Inhuman, you literally just changed
Oh yeah.
all of
Her
that
entire
stuff
life.
that could have done.
Well,
Well,
that's what
they
they
did
said.
say
originally supposed
They
to be a
said
mutant,
she
though.
originally supposed to be a mutant, but because Marvel Comics at the time, since
Was
Fox was
shitting on
owned by the
the
X-Men,
mutants.
they were like, we're not going to release any new mutants. So originally, the
They made her
original
an
creator said
Inhuman.
she was supposed to be a mutant, but they changed her to an Inhuman because they were
Which
doing
was
all their.
I remember that, but they've had the Inhumans forever out there, and she was supposed to be Inhuman because of Terragenics, but now we just basically, oh, she's a
Yeah,
mutant.
because they did this
Come
whole
on.
thing too. Like the humans were there for a long time, but they did this whole thing where they were trying to make the Inhumans the replacement for the X-Men.
Yeah,
Like when they try to push that Inhuman show and everything down
because they
people's
didn't have the
throats.
rights to X-Men.
And then again, they were like she was going to be a full-fledged mutant, but they decided to do the whole thing with the Inhumans since that's what their goal was to replace the X-Men with the Inhumans in the comics, so then they could take them to the TV shows and the movies. Like originally, they were like at one point Van Diesel was supposed to be Black Bolt at one point.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was a
Wow.
legit thing.
That was a legit
That was
thing.
a legit thing that he was going to be both Groot and
I'm gonna
Black
fucking
Bolt.
have a stroke if that would have happened. Jesus, he would have ruined that.
I'd have
role.
been in the same hospital, brother.
The fact the man has a voice and the distinct voice, and we're gonna give him a character who can't speak. He can't act. His voice is it. Like, come
First
on.
of all, sir, that man can drive the hell out of a
Oh
green
yeah, I
screen,
know.
Okay.
Family. Like we
he
get
can
it.
drive a car down a dam. Okay,
When you're
Like,
here,
yo,
your family.
I watched that trailer for the first time in the movie theater, and I looked at my
So-
wife. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on in this? In
It
this?
does not
Flew off
matter.
and then landed
Tone,
perfect and kept
tone,
driving. No,
Tone,
I don't
it
know.
Does not
No.
matter.
I think
The
we lost
guy
law.
they
We
killed
lost
off,
law.
the guy they killed off in Tokyo Drift is not only back alive, but he's also friends with his killer. At this point, what is family?
Listen.
It's
the
Olive Garden.
franchise.
When you're
we
here,
Can drive the hell out of a green screen.
Yeah, they
I
lost
did
me when
say
they
that, and
jumped
I
buildings
stand by
and
that.
cars.
Oh my
he
god.
definitely
my
can.
God. Listen, we called it. We knew the franchise was going to hell the minute they launched a car in space.
I mean, it's not really going to hell. It keeps making money. Like,
I think this is the last one.
Millions and
hopefully.
millions of money.
It better
We'll
be
see,
the last
we'll
one.
And,
see.
and it
'cause
feeds
they-
everybody's egos of driving.
this
they got
new
their
one's
Rock
gonna be a part
2.0
two.
with Jason Momoa, so we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
Because he messed that up. He messed it up again with the friendship. I will say this. Aside from that, fuck that trailer. Fuck that movie. I'd rather go see Blue Beetle. I'd rather go see Elementals, right? Because that looks fun as well.
Elementals is gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Sebastian's gone. That didn't bother me at all. And you know what? I hate to say this. I saw the Flash trailer, the second one or the updated one.
The
whatever.
one, or we get the line where
Yeah.
where you pay Michael Keaton all that money just to get the line.
Just to
And-
get the you want to get nuts? Let's
Wanna
get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Stupid ass line. I'm not gonna lie to
I
you.
know, but it's so good in '89.
I know.
It's so
Doesn't he say
good.
let's get crazy? It's not crazy or it's nuts?
It's nuts.
It's
It's
nuts.
nuts. Oh Jesus Christ.
So
What's the line that Joker says? What is it? You ever dance? Or what is
You
it?
ever dance with a devil in the pale
moonlight.
moonlight?
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So
Yeah,
This is the
that's
best.
sad. That I love that I have fellow nerds here to know that line with me.
Oh,
because-
yeah.
If I didn't know that line,
Right,
I'm
that'd be a
removing my tattoo
sad-
right now.
You gotta get that covered up real quick.
One of my favorite
listen,
lines.
it looks. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It looks like a solid fucking movie.
It does, but I won't pay money for it.
100%
that.
hood
Sony.
release.
Uh,
100% hood release.
we,
No,
have
no,
to,
no.
we have to establish this right now. Are we
Yes, I
covering
can.
it? Are we covering?
I'm not paying to see it.
We
Wait,
are
what, the Flash?
covering it
I'll watch it on hood release.
eventually,
Oh,
but we're not watching it. We're not covering it right away. I think we'll
Okay.
like,
Okay.
I'll
We're
wait.
not-
I'll
we're
wait
not
till it
I
gets
just,
released.
I just wanted to put that out there because I knew like we've made this decision before in the
I
past
need,
where like
you know what it is? I need like all the outlets to be like, this shit is good
for me to
And
even
for
think
me to
about
even
it.
attempt it. Because that's what happened with the Batman when me and Seabass went to go see
Yeah.
it. I was like, I'm not gonna watch this movie, and then every single media outlet was like, this shit slaps, and I was like, we need to see this tonight. And then we got out the movie and we called Law, and I was like, this was the Batman movie I didn't know I needed.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was incredible.
Honestly,
I was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
can tell you, I was so like, I was exhausted
Flash.
I was exhausted from seeing Batman movies, like, and just seeing new people play Batman. And they were like, watch this movie. And then I was like, I've been wanting this for so long.
We don't.
They did a hell of a job with it. Pattinson actually did a really good job as Batman.
Yeah.
I still don't like him as the emo Bruce Wayne, but as
Batman was good.
I agree.
Bruce Wayne lacking.
Hey, the way this movie's going, he might be in it too, because we seem to get all the.
It was Hugo. I love that movie more than I thought I was.
That
shit opens up.
There's rumors that they're all supposed to be in it.
Support
all?
Ben Affleck is in it.
Good,
man. Affleck's
so
in it.
good.
And
Affleck's in it.
Keaton. Pattinson's supposed to be in it. He's in it. Keaton's in it. There's supposedly rumors of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who plays Thomas Wayne. He's supposed to be in it, and another Flash or something of it. So there's rumors of a few different people are supposed to be in it for Batman.
I wouldn't be surprised if Grant Gustin is in it, because Ursula Miller.
Christian Bale's getting a role in it.
Jesus,
Gustin's in it.
Yo,
he's supposed to be in it. John Wesley Shipp is supposed to be rumored to be in it.
I'm not watching it.
Damn, it's like they heard us when we talked about the reboot, and now I heard.
I had it so like some people were talking about the Batmans, and like we all knew that Ben Affleck and Keaton were going to be in it, and then someone like talked about Pattinson. They like dodged the question because they're like, Keaton is not coming back as Batman. It's just like a one and done. This is Ben Affleck's last time as Batman, and it's like we still need our new Batman. And they kind of dodged the question with Pattinson. But in my back of my head, like, are they going to introduce Pattinson and make him like we're going to do it with him?
Pattinson's Batman is supposed to be Elseworld.
I know it's Elseworld. Yeah. I know it's totally separate. That's what my thought was. Like, if they're going to bring him into this Flash movie for whatever reason.
I think it would just if you saw Infinity Crisis, like there were a lot of people that just made cameos of their characters, and I feel like that's probably what we're going to get in this movie, is that a lot of cameos with Flashpoint, like him running through. We just may get scenes, which
Cavill was supposed to have it, but when everything happened with Black Adam, they cut him completely out, and same thing with Gal. Both of them are cut out completely.
Which I think it sucks. It's a lot of that was Dwayne Johnson's politic, and it's, again, as much as I love Dwayne Johnson when he was doing the wrestling and all that, it didn't transition to Hollywood, and Black Adam just.
First of all, hold on, time out. Can we talk about Dwayne Johnson for like a second?
Sure.
Are we? What? Do we know about the rumors?
What rumors?
He was out here trying to kidnap his fellow whatever league, I don't know, wrestler's child.
He's being charged for kidnapping, and Disney might cut him off.
Wait,
for Moana.
What? I'm waiting for it to develop.
What the hell did
pull it up? Pull it up. Pull it up.
Dude,
I believe Jonathan Majors is guilty before I believe that. Okay.
I'm just listen. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying, did we hear about it? Because I found out on Sunday as I was.
Yeah, this is the first time hearing this.
Dude, he was all over the social media on Sunday.
What the?
I know.
Where have you guys been?
I was at a convention all weekend, so I didn't see much.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, Bergie, you were an hour away from me. Should have called me, man.
Dude, I was gonna hit you up until you come down.
I believe for $3 million.
Next time.
For a kidnapping lawsuit.
I got a show in New Jersey in July. I'm just saying.
I'll be there.
Dwayne Rock Johnson has been recently listed as defendant. Hold on. As defendant in a $3 billion kidnapping suit filed by Trencha Biggers, known as Raka Khan, by Impact Wrestling fans.
Yeah.
In April 2023, claims began to spread online that actor and former wrestler Dwayne The Rock Johnson had been named as a defendant in the lawsuit. He is now facing charges for his involvement in the case.
For kidnapping this dude.
There's a joke in there that goes along the line of, if you smell what The Rock is kidnapped. Listen, I don't know.
This has got to be a joke.
Goddamn, Hugo.
Got to be a joke.
Goddamn.
I can't see this guy flushing his career.
No.
Flushing his career down the toilet like that. No way.
I find that hard to believe. I feel like if he was taking someone's kid, it's because he knew some shit was going down.
Right.
And he brought that to protect them.
If he kidnapped the kid on April 23rd and we're just hearing about it on May 9th. Come on.
Like,
Rock-
there's
Rock-
no,
Rock-
no,
Somebody
no,
maybe
you
got
start
arrested.
hearing about it in May
And we
9th.
heard about it the
No,
next
no,
day.
no, no, no.
Tone.
So Rocket
That would have
Con
been
let me
10
be
minutes
honest
later
with
on,
you,
the,
Tone.
on TMZ.
First of all,
TMZ would have been following him,
Are
dude.
Wait,
you-
hold up, man.
No,
One
that's
second.
out
Oh,
there,
wait,
guys.
you
It's
said it
all
was
over
Rocket
social
Con?
media.
You said it was Rocket Con?
Yes,
That was
it's
the
Rocket
wrestler?
Con.
Yeah, she was a blip in Impact Wrestling. She was like no major person in wrestling. So it's like whoever, whatever. And I mean, we don't know what happened, but he probably got involved in the middle because maybe he might have knew the person who was probably involved with her or something like that.
She's
and
Samoan.
got
She's from
caught.
the island.
No, she's not.
I don't know
Oh,
the
okay.
details. I
Yeah,
need to
we
do more
don't
research
know.
on it, but he's definitely named in a lawsuit for kidnapping, and whether or not Marvel will proceed with him in Moana, I mean Disney will proceed with him in Moana is also in question.
Yeah, what's
That's what
probably
I
gonna
read. Again, social media, I can't say that's fact.
Yeah.
I have to do more research, but that's what I read.
Mayhem,
Yeah,
what you got?
I was gonna say, Tone, you sure you're not projecting? We know Dwayne The Rock Johnson as the lovable cop authoritarian figure that he is, whether he's an FBI agent, secret agent, head of CEO, fireman, police officer, whatever he is, right? But at the same time, the way Hollywood has been going lately, especially with male actors, it's possible. Ask Kang, maybe not. Just like I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Look, I hear you. I hear
Mhm.
you, and
Okay.
you don't really know all the stories.
That's true.
It just seems the man does everything in his power to make sure that he is. Out of all the actors I have seen, I feel like this
I
dude
agree. I'm not.
is
Yeah.
involved in
I don't think-
everything that he does to make sure his shit does not.
Mhm.
Nothing happens.
Taint.
You don't hear about nothing. The
All
only
right,
thing, only negative thing I've ever heard about The Rock, and if you want to call it, was the beef between him and Vin, and that's like the only
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, so
the most public thing.
I looked something up on this, and this came up on TikTok on it, and it's saying in the document the plaintiff asked for relief in the amount of $3 billion. Johnson was one of hundreds of defendants listed in the lawsuit. In total, listed defendants spanned 23 pages, including celebrities such as Eminem, Naomi Campbell, Michael Jordan, as well as companies like Verizon, Bank of America, Universal Studios, law
What the
enforcement
fuck?
agencies like the FBI, Donna Ann County, New Mexico
Okay,
Sheriff, and
this is a wash.
so this is
All right.
bullshit. That's what
if
this
that
is.
is true, I'm gonna handle it too. If that's what true what Burgie said, all right, it's a wash. It's not going anywhere. We
Yeah, because
understand
it's
that,
like
yeah.
if it's like Rocket Con was a very big blip in Impact Wrestling. Like when I mean by blip, she was one and done. She was gone. And you got people that do like the reach and all that. Like again, don't know what happened, but at the same time, it's like
Mhm.
you're aiming for the stars, and like how Burgie just said, like you naming all those
Circus
people.
City,
Come on.
Bed Bath and Beyond, Cop USA.
Circus City owes me money.
Hello, fucking
Oh
Hugo.
my god, the Wiz.
Thank you, Hugo. Needed that laugh. Yeah,
Nobody
he's they're
Rent a
definitely gonna
center.
beat that case. It's probably gonna get Disney to hold off on
Best
it for
Buy.
a while because Disney doesn't want the negative press.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack.
I got
Blockbuster.
Radio
No,
Shack
that
should
was
be
a good
sued
one.
after they made that commercial
I
during
got
the
a quick question outside of all this. How does everyone feel about the rumors that Ben Solo will be our Reed Richards?
I don't know.
I'm not
how I
mad
feel about
at. I'm not mad at Driver. I can
on the
hear
fence.
him speaking intelligently. I can hear him doing Reed Richards well.
Right.
I don't think I'm mad at that, but physically is where
like it.
it's difficult to place.
I need to know his Doom. Like I care less about
key.
who plays Reed because unless we know Doom, then like we can like Doom has to be the guy. Whoever that is, it has to be that guy. Reed can be anybody. Like, granted, we're getting if we get Adam Driver, cool.
I want
Look,
the four letter before you wait. So I want the 4 letter. Go ahead, son. Then I want Burgie.
all I want is that if we're gonna get Adam Driver as a regular MCU Reed Richards who is composed and kind of does his own thing and is like there, they also need to make Adam Driver be the maker. I just need him to be both. I need him to be both so I can get 2 different versions of Adam Driver because that man can
can see
just
that.
change it and it's amazing.
Adam
Burgie,
Driver is
like-
the maker, you said?
Yeah, he's the ultimate Reed Richards.
His Ultimate
Okay.
Universe Reed Richards, which is like it has a lot to do with the Secret War stuff.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I would say keep him as the ultimate Reed Richards and bring in John Krasinski. I know he said he was done. I know he said he didn't want to
That was
do it.
fan casting.
God,
I know.
We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need it. I know people
Really?
You
like
don't want
it.
Jim
Virgin,
in the
you do it.
MCU? I want
Virgin,
Jim
you
in the
did it.
MCU.
I love no.
Virgin,
He's a
jump
great
in.
actor.
He's
Give
the
him the
MCU.
check. Give him the check. Is all
I
I'm
I
like
don't
Virgin,
think he
jump in.
wants the check.
Oh, he wants to check. So does his
He
wife.
don't want that check because the thing is, working with Disney and MCU requires more than just a check, and it's a whole thing that you have to follow. And I don't think he wants that. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have did it.
Hi, Val. It sounds like dating in today's in today's life. I'm just saying.
I don't. I just can't see Driver playing the role of Reed Richards because of the level of what he has to be at. I just don't see it. Who's going to play Sue? Who's going to play the Thing? Who's playing Johnny? And as Law said, who's
Yeah.
Doctor Doom? I
Right.
need
No, I get it.
Doctor Doom because Doctor Doom is on the level of
I-
Thanos,
I believe you
of
guys
like
showed
that
me.
type of person.
Is it they were thinking Margot,
Um,
right? For Susan? That was
Who?
the
Oh, yeah,
Margot,
Robbie.
Margot
Robbie.
Robbie, whatever, which I would be so dissatisfied with. I don't like that at
I'm
all.
kind of over Margot Robbie. There's nothing
I-
against her. I'm just over her. And maybe it's the character she gets in the writing. Maybe I'm
I
over
just don't
that
want
kind
her
of
playing
typecasting.
like because everyone's going to look at her. Is she going to be the crazy,
She's
Harley
already
Quinn?
Harley. The
Yeah.
thing is, for me,
enough.
I
She's been
see
cast-
her
she's
as
been
Harley.
typecast as
It'll be
Harley.
very difficult for me
This
to
is what happens
see
when you
her.
start casting from the same fucking pool of people.
Right. And it's not even that. Even in other roles that she's had, with the movie with Will Smith, she's not much different with Harley, only she's not as psycho. Like, but the way she speaks,
I
her mannerisms, it's very similar to a Harley character. I don't see her being able to branch into Sue. Sue is not going to explain quantum physics to me. Like,
But-
Margot is not going to be able to do that, and I believe
I
it.
would actually challenge Marvel to go with a fresher young cast.
Yes.
I would like that.
unknowns.
I
Give
want
me
to
some
say if you're
newer
going to do it,
people.
do them as characters that are probably in the mid to late 20s that you can get 10 years out of that
Mhm.
want to get up and hungry
rather
and want to
fresh
produce
face.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is fresh. But I think with Dr. Doom, you got to go with a little bit more of established of an actor, maybe
Yes.
someone in their 30s that you're going to get out of
Maybe
it.
Mr. Bond that
Give me
Mayhem
Cavill,
likes so
man.
much.
I want Cavill's Doom.
Daniel Craig?
Yes.
want
Why
Cavill's
not? Why not
Doom.
him as
Well,
Doom?
That's what I
Giancarlo
want.
Esposito's been rumored to be attached to that, but then he's also rumored for
I don't want
Professor X.
Giancarlo
Yeah.
to do
I
that.
don't know.
I
think
think
he'd be too
I think
old.
I think Giancarlo, if he was to do any of these roles, he would hit it out the park because just with
He can
Giancarlo,
do it, but
Yeah.
he's too
I don't want him as-
old
I don't
if
want
you
him as
want a
Professor
younger
X.
cast.
I don't want him
I
as
don't
Professor
want him
X.
as Professor X.
No.
I'm not saying I'm not saying he can't do it. I wouldn't want him in that character either, in any of those characters. However, if we're gonna be driving, because Doom should be a counterpart of Reed, and if you have Giancarlo and a younger Reed, that doesn't work.
well, you
Yeah.
can always write it that Doom was a mentor to Reed.
No, I don't
So you
want
can write
that.
it like that.
Here's how
You
about
sound
somebody
like the directors that ruin great movies. Shush your
Thank
face.
you.
Honestly, Seabass, I expected more from you because we already know that
You-
that
Listen,
you're one of
listen,
those-
listen.
well,
I'm
that
not.
relationship is
I
founded
am not
on.
Josh Trank. Do
You
not
sound
put
like
me
M.
there.
Night. You sound like M. Night
Do
when
not
he
put
made
me there
Avatar.
with Josh Trank, who completely messed up the Fantastic Four franchise. Give us Fantastic Four
There is
stick.
no Avatar.
It's like I
movie
had a
involved.
vision.
Yeah.
Nobody
Please,
cares
come on.
about your vision.
I wouldn't mind seeing if you're going to go that route and give me a good actor that could play Doom. How about James McAvoy? He was Professor X. We've seen him in Split. The dude can play multiple roles in different styles.
I can see
Have
that.
him as
I
Doctor
can
Doom.
see him do that as Doom.
He could
I
play
can
Doctor
see him kill
Doom
that.
with the mask on and then play that, without the mask on, that suave like character. I think he could do it.
I think
Yeah.
so too. I agree.
I think he can do it, and since we don't really see Doom's face, it won't be so much of a relation to Professor X.
Also, I still think, and I kind of want to come
And
back
if we
to
give him prosthetics to cover like scarring.
How do
Fair
you
enough.
people? How do you guys feel that with
ahead.
the possibility that Sentry is going to be induced?
Mayhem's like,
introduced?
oh, okay, don't bother listening to what I got.
Don't
Okay,
need
Mayhem,
it.
go. Mayhem, go ahead.
Don't
Go
need
ahead.
it.
Go ahead. Mayhem,
No, I
sorry.
was just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say
Go
I
ahead.
don't think Daniel Craig could do it because another thing about Doom is you can't be stiff, even though he's in a suit of armor. I'm not gonna say he's flexible, but he's very mobile. Daniel Craig has hurt himself so much from James Bond and other actors who are up in age have done their own stunts. I don't think
I understand that. Yeah,
he'd be able
Cavill.
to-
I
Cavill.
understand that,
I
but
want
vocally,
Cavill.
I don't want the Cavill
vocally-
curse.
No. Cavill
Vo-
gets shafted. All right, there ain't no Cavill curse. The
there
man
is
gets
no
shafted.
Cavill curse. Exactly.
Okay.
No, but
It
Daniel
sounds
Craig
like it's a
vocally,
curse. Mhm.
Daniel Craig vocally and how he speaks in his mannerisms, I think can pull it off. in that sense. But when you say that he's very mobile and having to be in that makes sense. But I think he can also pull it off vocally.
Okay.
So
That's a good
correct, Mike. Cavill doesn't have a curse. It's Summer Glau that has a curse because everything that
No,
she's been on has been
I
canceled.
feel like if you do something
Who's
and
Summer
something
Glau?
happens to you,
She
it's a
played.
curse.
She was
Firefly.
in
Like
Yeah.
Serenity,
Firefly. She was in
Dollhouse.
Dollhouse.
Oh,
All those
okay,
shows got
everything.
canceled. All those shows got canceled. Terminator Salvation. They
Yeah,
all got canceled.
when she joined the cast, it never made it
Oh,
past
that
like 2
lady.
seasons when she was on the cast.
Wait,
Yeah.
there was a Terminator series, and I missed
Yeah,
it.
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
Was it that bad?
Sarah
two.
Chronicles
wasn't
Terminate
great.
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
There's
Was
Yeah,
it?
Sarah
Sarah
Yeah.
There's the
Connor.
Sarah
Yeah.
Connor Chronicles, and I think there's one before that happened too. They had 2 Terminator series.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Was
so
she on
Summer
both?
Glau. No,
No, she
on
was in the
Salvation.
Sarah Connor one that also starred
Yeah.
Lena Headley from
Yep,
House
Lena
of
Game of
Headey
Dragons
Thrones.
from
or
House of
something
Dragons,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones.
Game of
But
Thrones.
yeah, she ended up getting casted in Dollhouse season 2 that got canned. So Summer
Yep.
Glau has a curse on her.
Yep.
Cavill, he left Witcher because the showrunners decided that we're just gonna stick our dick in the fan going with this script and not listen to you.
Well,
That's
he
what they
wanted to go
decided
for
to do.
Superman because he was supposed to be playing it more, so he was going to,
Yeah.
dedicate to that. And then they screwed up the scripts, and they're totally going off the books, off of everything. So he's like, "Fuck you, I'm out." And now he's going to do Warhammer, and he's going to
I
crush
can't
Warhammer.
wait.
Yeah.
Liam
Warhammer.
Hemsworth
Yeah,
is going to
wait.
ruin The Witcher. I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah, I know we know
ruin
this.
the
He
fucking
got
Witcher.
he got shafted. Liam
I'm
He's
got
not
got no
shafted.
acting.
I
You
feel
following
bad
that
for the
up?
kid.
You're following that guy up. You're not getting it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel bad for the kid. He won't even get a fair shot because
Nope.
no one gives a fuck after
That
Yeah.
he's
after this
sloppy, he's
season of
sloppy
Witcher.
seconds, as we
It's
like to
over.
call it. That's
Yep.
what
And
he
it,
is.
and it and it doesn't help that they came out with this Witcher prequel series.
No, 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 no,
that
no,
was just
no, 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 no,
horrible.
no, 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 no,
Don't
no,
talk
no,
No,
we're not doing it.
stop.
We're not doing it.
Thank you.
We're not doing it.
I
Notice,
appreciate it.
notice. If anyone's playing the home game, Lost was
Nope.
like slowly just
Nope.
looking down and just
Nope.
like trying to
Nope.
avoid this because I knew it was
Nope.
gonna happen.
Nope. I'm not
Nope.
allowing
Okay,
it.
moving on. Let's
I'm
go.
not
Let's go
allowing that
ahead.
back.
We can move it.
All
We
right.
can
Are
move
we
on.
good? Are we good, Seabass?
Welcome back, Sebastian.
We're moving on.
Hey, you see
I
this
feel like
shit?
Mayhem
So
has
back
the
to
button
Guardians
No,
now.
I don't have the button. That's all tone, if anything. So I don't want to hear you
bro.
complain when I get the button.
So
No.
back from our tangent meeting. How do we all feel
Yeah.
about this Guardians movie?
7 at a bar.
7.5. I say 7.5. I give it.
I put it 8.5.
I give it a
I
nine.
I think
put
8.5
8.5, 9. Like it was more solid than a lot of the MCU movies we've gotten recently, and definitely one of like the most like solid ends to a franchise that we've gotten.
I give it a solid 9 for me. It's just it hit a lot of stuff, and it's like
Okay.
I'm still surprised that they didn't kill off a main character. I really did think they
Yeah.
were
I'm-
going to.
I
I
thought
think that was that
really-
anticipation too.
I thought they would also, but I'm happy they didn't.
Yeah.
Because the
I'm
endings were
not
satisfying.
mad.
Mhm.
Right, exactly. I'd be mad if it was like, what the fuck are they doing kind of thing, right? But I like what they did with what they gave us. For me, a solid 9 as well. This overall was a strong movie.
Mhm.
Overall, there are some we can nitpick at bullshit, sure. I'm not gonna say that it's perfect. It's not. But character building, where they ended up, how it played out visually, that scene, that fight scene in that hallway when all of them were going in,
Yeah.
was
that
beautiful.
fight scene when they went with not the Beyonder, what the fuck,
With Groot and
face
Star-Lord.
guy. What's his name now? I'm losing
Yeah.
his name.
The
High
High Evolutionary.
Evolution. That fight scene when they defend fucking Rocket and they all go in on him, there was really good parts of the scenes, and I think overall the story worked well. And for me, it was one of the better Marvel movies, especially out of what we've gotten recently. Is it one of the best? No, but I loved it.
I agree with Val. The hallway scene,
That
it kind
hallway
of
scene
gave
was
me the
slit.
Daredevil in the
Yes.
Netflix series where they just
That's
went
where
down that.
Gamora stood the fuck up there.
Yeah, that's where I was like, man. And she was going after, which I joked, a friend of mine,
Bro.
I said, why did it look like the villain from Ben 10 from the cartoon series?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
with the
shit.
tentacle and shit. I'm
Yes.
like,
Yep.
did they just bring in Ben 10? Like, this is bad. But the fight scenes of those.
Even Mantis had a role in that scene. It was
Yeah.
just such a good way that
Well,
they brought all of their strengths together, and each of them did what they needed to do. And I love that fucking scene. That's
one
my
thing
favorite out of the
I
whole
did want to
thing.
see something that I said I thought was gonna be a little more comedic was when Drax opened the door and he looked in there and just closed the door like, nah, we got to go another way. But they opened that door and they just went right at everybody. Great scene. And the end, I felt like that was with Sebastian WWE tag team. They all tag team that mofo and just beat the shit out of him.
Yep.
And they ripped his face off. And I didn't expect that. I expected to see like a robotic face. I didn't think it was going to be human in a way.
Oh,
so
yeah,
great
that
job.
was
It's
man.
basically
My
yeah.
kids love that scene.
I'm sure. I'm fucking sure.
They was like, oh! Just was like, oh! And then she turned away. She's like, no.
She's in no, thank
I
you.
was
no,
like,
thank
we
you.
wrote about it. I was like,
Tone, what's your rating?
I give it, I'm between 8.5 and 9. I think it's better than 2. I think I need to watch it again for me to think it's better than 1 because I love the
I
first
think it's
one.
on par
Yeah.
with 1.
I love
I
the
don't know
first
about
one's
better
so
yet.
good.
Yeah,
Just because
no,
of like what it did and bringing in these characters and what James Gunn was able to do. I fucking love 1, but I think
I
this is
like
definitely
that
better
it
than 2.
kind of tied it together with 1.
Yeah.
Like we got pieces of 2, and then the way it tied into 1 and gave us a little bit of what we already know with other franchises. I
But a
think that was
solid
one of the things that they
trilogy.
did well.
Yeah.
But a
Oh, I
solid
think
trilogy, what I love, and I
Yeah.
gotta say, you don't need to watch anything else
Mhm.
to like really love it. You may want to watch you watch the holiday special, be like, why is that his sister? But like you can watch 1, 2, and 3, and like they're so kind of within themselves that you can just enjoy them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Gunn
I would
definitely
agree
did
with
the
that.
best of the trilogies out of all the movies that they
Yeah.
did. The
Yeah.
third Iron Man sucked. Technically the first and second Thor sucked.
First was
but
okay, second was trash.
second was trash. I shouldn't have been made, but they had to
Look at Mike's
improve
face.
the
Yeah.
bullets.
Alright.
I only say okay because it gave us classic Thor a little bit. Yes, it could have
Yeah.
been better.
First was
But was it-
campy.
Yeah, it was campy.
Yeah.
It gave us classic Thor at the time where we didn't know what was better than that.
Lost Chris Pratt? No. So you remove
Well,
that.
Yeah,
well,
it's similar to like Captain
Remove
America,
that. There you go.
Captain America, the first Avenger. Again, they rushed
First
Captain
Avenger was
America
very
to get
good to me.
Yeah.
I don't claim
they
that,
gave
man.
they
Civil
pushed them
War
so
was
that they can have
amazing.
it.
I think
Civil-
actually the Captain
Cap-
America
Cap probably
trilogy was
had-
good.
Yeah, Cap had that arc
Thank
where
you.
it was
I was
like,
waiting
it
for
just
somebody to
rolled
say
up.
it. I
No,
was waiting.
It just
they
rolled up.
get Captain
we
America.
got-
They
Yeah,
get
Cap-
better
we
and
got
better. I still
First
think
Avengers,
Winter Soldier
Soldier,
still is
and
a
Civil
top
War?
3 Marvel
Bro.
movie.
Hey,
yeah.
everybody keeps saying that, but yet there's so much Team Iron Man. I don't understand.
Nah,
Go
fuck
ahead.
Iron Man, bro.
I love Iron Man.
Facts.
I'm an Iron
Everybody's
Man.
I'm
aight.
an Iron Man head.
Aight.
I'm an
Hold
Iron Man
on.
head.
Iron Man 2 was just okay.
No.
3
but
was
that-
trash.
That
1 was
first Iron
good
Man movie,
at best.
that
Bro,
first Iron Man movie, you watch
'cause
that
that
for
was-
the first time. I'm
Hold
like,
on.
I love the first Iron
let's
Man
be
movie.
realistic though. It's because we didn't know anything better at the time.
Well, we had
You're right, I
we
didn't-
had
but it's-
X-Men. That was
No,
out
we
at the
had
time.
no. I'm talking about
Fox.
better. I'm talking about
I'm sorry.
better.
Did you just say Fox X-Men?
No,
X-Men
the
2
original-
wasn't
the
bad.
They
original
gave us
X-Men.
none.
Oh,
The
Stop,
original 2
stop,
wasn't that bad.
Stop. Fox ruined X-Men for me. Period. If you are a 90s comics, 2000s comics, or even
cartoon
the
show.
animated series,
Yep.
anything that X-Men was actually real when Fox ruined. However, we accepted it for what it was because it was trash, but it was okay because we got
Yeah.
X-Men on screen,
They
right?
gave us X-Men versus
We had
IDUs.
no idea what could be done until the first Iron Man. And we're like, oh my God, they got it pretty close to the bar. Yay. Thank you.
to be
But
fair,
then after that,
to be
I
fair,
disagree.
Iron Man, and
I'm-
Iron
I'm-
Man,
I
Iron
have to
Man.
disagree
Hear
with
me
you a
out.
little
Right?
bit.
yeah,
Because
fuck
like,
outta here,
you're
bro.
just showing Iron Man. What Iron
was
Man
good.
1 is
It was good. It was good. But
It's
is it
good.
amazing? No.
Iron Man at the time was
At the
bar.
time.
At the time was the
At
bar.
the time. Thank
At the
you. It
time
was
was
the
the
bar.
bar.
Listen,
I'm
listen,
agreeing
hold
with
on,
that.
hear me out.
When
Hear
my
me out.
man walks to the mic and says, "I am Iron Man," that's it. If Samuel Jackson walks in as Nick Fury,
It was
done.
okay.
His
Tone, take
opening,
him
Mike,
out. Tone,
his
take him out now.
It's fine.
Mike.
His opening in the fucking cave with Ensign was amazing. Him
was good.
going through
Yes,
and testing
absolutely.
all the suits, amazing. You can't
Yes.
do anything much with the villain because you're right. We didn't really know what we had, so you had to go with Ironmonger. So if you want to down something, you down Obadiah. But like the whole, what the fuck just happened?
What?
fuck is going
Okay,
on?
Tone is
It
on
wasn't
a-
me.
Tone
It
is
wasn't
on a
me.
rev- And what
The fuck is going on?
Wow. Really?
So anyway, yeah, keep
Wow.
all right. So here's what I guess
Wow.
I'm.
That
so-
is rude. That
That's
is so rude.
Finger
Yeah,
slip.
that's not me. That you know I don't have this.
Anyway, all I'm saying is that Listen, we were talking about trilogies, and we talked about Winter Soldier, and just Winter Soldier is the top 3 Marvel movie out of all the 30-something fucking projects that have been around.
Tone.
Absolutely.
Yes, Tone.
Winter Soldier and Civil War are probably
came
the best
to church
ones.
to hear the sermon, Tone. Let's do it. Do it, Tone. Look, just to add on to what Val and what Tone is saying altogether. Fox, the best X-Men movie was X2. Shout out to my boy Nightcrawler.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was it. Because they made him so great in that. And then we obviously got the other one with Logan. That was great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give him this props. Days of Future Past, also good.
Yeah, that was also decent.
Deadpool.
Right.
Like out of the 20 X-Men movies, we had 3, and we had that horrible goddamn line.
Class.
You know what happens when a toad is hit by lightning?
Yes.
First of all, First Class you do not want to bring up because that is not the fucking First Class. We do not want it to go down that rabbit hole, and I'm not gonna.
It's not a First Class, but it wasn't a bad movie.
It wasn't a bad movie. I'm not saying it was horrible.
Movie.
Hold on, time out. There's a difference between
Burge is like, oh,
what
shit.
I'm referring to.
I opened a can of worms on this shit. Val's losing her mind over here.
Well, because you got me tight right now.
X-Men.
Hold on. You don't understand. X-Men
loves
is my
X-Men.
shit. The mutants are my shit.
X-Men's like her thing.
Yes.
I'll go toe to toe with her on it too, because I'm sorry.
Listen.
I think the X-Men movies were one of the better ones that we've gotten.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Come on.
Wait. Can we set some rules?
Hold on. First of all. We can discuss X-Men 1 because it was X-Men 1. X-Men 2 was good. X-Men 3 was basura.
Trash.
And then you go into First Class, which was fun. Days of Future Past, which is fun. Everything after that, I can't handle. And then you've got Samurai Wolverine, which was enjoyable. Logan, Deadpool 1 and Logan 1 was the best one. Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. And the only thing I liked about X-Men Origins was how they did Sabretooth. I can't deal with any other version of Sabretooth we've gotten. I like Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth. Maybe no one agrees with me, but I enjoy Liev as Sabretooth.
Listen, before Law leaves,
Hold on.
I'm just gonna say I'm on Team Val right now.
Over here.
I know Val's about to kill me right now.
Yes, she's about to go in because
someone please get Val emotional support.
Sebastian's all like,
I agree with Val's emotions, and I'm pretty sure I'll agree with her actual testimony. Go ahead, Val. Take him to church.
No. I don't want to, Michael. I don't want to pull away from our guests. I'll let you say your word, and because after that, I'm gonna go off. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is I agree with what you're saying. I'm right now. I'm just agreeing with you.
Just lay it back.
Virgie.
I wanted to move on. I wanted to move on. I'm gonna let you talk about X-Men because I think I agree with everything you're about to say. Honestly, because X-Men, I'm a big X-Men fan, and it was a lot of letdowns, right? But we moved on from X-Men, right? We said X-Men. We said a whole bunch of movies. Iron Man was the bar, and the only thing that could possibly beat Iron Man that was Blade, the movie Blade, and people didn't consider it a Marvel movie per se, although it technically is. It was more a vampire movie.
It is.
Wesley Snipes,
Blade, yeah.
And then
Blade with the exception of Blade 3.
Blade 1 was, I think, is the classic. Blade 2, it depends on who you are, but mostly good and positive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then Iron Man was the bar. Iron Man 2 sucked ass. Iron Man 3 was worse, if you ask me.
Iron Man 2 was fun, but go ahead, Mike.
I'm not listening to you because you already suck. You know what? I was about to say you suck so much penis with the devs.
I also like to say before you get into Captain America, Civil War was the best Avengers movie we had until we got Infinity War.
Yes.
Fair.
All right.
That's fair.
Mike, but go ahead, Mike.
No problem. Unfortunately, I said Captain America, the first Avenger, was going to be whack. I was proven wrong. I ate my words. It was really good. Winter Soldier is arguably top 3, if not the top 1, depending on what you feel. Best Marvel MCU movie to date. You know, there's other movies you can switch around with. Honestly, that's my personal opinion. I think it's proven. Whatever. And then, of course, Captain America: Civil War. We talk about that. These movies are the bar. And for whatever reason, people are just like, well, Iron Man is all this. And it's just like, no, Robert Downey Jr. is a great Iron Man. He's a great actor. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, his movie standalone, he's good with other people. He plays well with other people. By himself, So I'm going to let Val talk her shit.
Before I do, Birdie, did you want to add? Because I know you kind of wanted to say something.
No, I'll let you go and I'll counteract everything. Feel free.
Oh, okay. Oh Okay, all right. First of all,
Let me get my drink.
me
We get a full 2 hours on this tonight.
me and Mike see a little bit eye to eye when it comes to the Iron Man movies. 2, I don't care what nobody says. Ivan Vanko
Superbox?
and fucking what's his name was not that
Soap
great.
box, not
Whoa,
soap box.
whoa. Nah, chill. Hold on, get me off the fucking screen. I didn't ask for all that.
Also, it's soapbox, not soup box, but okay.
I don't know who did that. Thank you,
We
Seabass.
know. We know. Okay.
He knows
I was
what's
gonna
in
say.
Sebastian,
We
crack
know
him with a
exactly
beer.
You
Crack him with a
exactly.
beer.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Right. Now, listen. Okay.
Yeah,
Some
Jackie.
fucking Oliver Twist over here, man. What the
Soup box.
Please,
I don't
sir.
even
May I
understand.
have some more?
Ah, damn.
So I definitely will agree with Mike Mayhem on regarding the Iron Man movies. He was the bar at the time because we didn't have anything as good as that. And he was the closest actor to be comic accurate
That
to
goes on
the
the list.
Iron Man character, right? 2 was not great. 3 was trash. The Captain America's trilogy is better than the Iron Man trilogy. No matter how good Robert Downey Jr. is in his role, he does not beat those 3 movies. Period. Robert Downey Jr. is an amazing Tony Stark because he's the dickhead we all wanted, the asshole we need, and he is the fucking guy that everybody hates in the comic books. There is no changing that. Tony Stark is a dick, and Robert Downey Jr. knows how to play him to the T, which why we love him. With that said, let's go back to X-Men because I need to express the fact that they trashed that fucking these characters. Rogue, first of all, in X-Men 1 and X-Men 2, yes, we enjoyed it. Why? Because we had nothing else to compare it to, knowing there is better and existing things out there that should have been done differently. First of all, Marvel's attempt at doing Rogue's character, the fucking love with this bitch who was Mystique. What's his name?
Fox.
Thank
It
you,
was
Fox. What's Mystique's name? This girl from Hunger
Rebecca
Games?
remains Stamos.
Not that
No,
one,
no,
the
no.
other stupid ass.
From the one that took
Oh.
over the
Jennifer
role
Lawrence?
after.
Jennifer
Thank
Lawrence.
you, Jennifer Lawrence. They rode on her fucking coattails on her popularity. She was the driest fucking actress that I've ever seen in my life. No one gives a fuck about Mystique in the fucking comic books. I don't even know why they fucking centered her role in First Class. Who the fuck cares? She is not a pitiful character in the X-Men fucking trilogies in any way, shape, or form. I don't understand. With that said,
Can we get Valium?
listen, I'm just trying to say. Let me just slow it
Monday
back
Night
a little
Bring
bit.
it back.
Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. Let me bring it back. It's the wine. It's the wine. But X-Men,
Shit.
I grew up with. I read every
If you're
single
like this
X-Men
on wine, I
title.
hate to see you on hot liquor. Damn. Murder a
I'm
motherfucker.
very nice.
Henny.
I'm very nice. I'm actually Henny calmed me down. So with that said, what I love is I do love the fact that I was able to see the X-Men on screen and certain characters that they gave us. However, they didn't do them well. They didn't do them justice. There are specific actors who did them well, like Nightcrawler. I think Fraser's Beast was very good. I think Iceman was very good. How, but they did not give us good stories. They did not put them pieced together well, and they never delivered a real X-Men team. In any single release of anything under the Fox franchise when it came to the X-Men, they failed. It doesn't matter one or two characters that did well. Whoever loves Logan, this guy as Wolverine, sure, but they failed to deliver what they needed to deliver overall. And if you are a comic book fan, if you are a 90s animated series fan, you will understand the movies fail in every shape or form. MCU hopefully will do better.
It was what Olivia Munn
when is
said.
your next
Olivia-
sermon?
Olivia-
Because I will be there. Where's the tide? Where's the collection plate? I need to pay my tides. Like, what's going on
Bro,
here?
I mean, when did Mystique become the pivotal fucking character in the X-Men? Are you fucking kidding me,
They were
bro?
writing- they were writing
First
off the
Class,
Hunger
you're
Games.
giving me fucking what's his name? Banshee, you're giving me in First Class. You're giving me what's the kid who died out of blowing up in
Darwin.
like Darwin, thank you. This
And he
man,
wasn't supposed to die.
he's not supposed to die.
Put respect on Darwin's
evolution.
name because he should have been.
He's
and ma-
supposed to be able to survive anything. He evolves, and you
So
fucking
he
kill him
evolved
off in
to
fucking
fight
2
death.
seconds.
He was
The
like,
fuck
"Oh,
outta
bet,
here, bro.
I'm just gonna become a Lord of Death." Like
First
oh,
Class, my ass.
I'm gonna fight Hulk. The best solution is for me to just not fight Hulk.
Also, I just want to add on. Remember the Age of Apocalypse thing and how they messed up Apocalypse's face so
I haven't
horribly.
watched that.
Ivan
I haven't
Ooze.
And then
Ivan
and then
Ooze.
Ivan Ooze.
Ooze. Yep,
Ivan
there you
Ooze.
go.
and then
JDF said it
Psylocke's
best when he
character.
tweeted out. I fought this
I think
character before.
Psylocke was very good. I think that
Well,
the
Olivia
younger
Munn.
Storm is also good.
Well,
There's
Olivia Munn
characters
played.
who are very good.
Olivia Munn plays Psylocke, and Olivia Munn says she was frustrated with that series because she was going to the. She goes. I remember her saying that there was a problem when she knew more about the characters than the directors.
Which is frustrating.
That's I think to touch upon with some of the stuff Val says, seems to be the problem with Hollywood a lot of times. These directors are jumping at these comic book movies because they know the fact they're going to get a huge budget, they get an opportunity for a marketing budget, and they're going to do something. Half these directors don't even know the fucking characters. They don't know their ass from their elbow on these characters. Some of them
Read
do,
a fucking
and
comic book, bro.
and
Like,
we've seen
seriously.
we've seen that with the Marvel universe, MCU. Those directors, the Russo brothers, they knew what they were doing.
Right.
John Favreau. If it wasn't for Favreau, we don't even have this shit. We're not even having this show talking about all this.
Right.
Like, that's straight up. This man saved the MCU. He saved Star Wars. Him and Filoni, they've done it. So yes, Fox screwed up a lot of shit. I will not deny that with you, Val, all day. They did screw up a lot, but they did give us something where at the time we didn't have this. Remember,
Right.
these movies we were looking at Roger Corman's movies from like that should have been Trauma shit that we had a Fantastic Four where Johnny Storm raised his hands in the air and went flame on. Like, seriously, that was what we had for superhero movies. Spider-Man was walking sideways up a brick building on a camera angle. Now we have this stuff where it actually looked amazing. I think Hugh Jackman, I would like the little shorter guy because I wanted to see the fastball with him in Colossus. We don't even have Colossus in the originals. How do we not? We don't have him.
We have him in Deadpool, bro, and it's
we technically got him for like 2 seconds.
We got we got him.
Yeah, it was a teenager in the school. And the best part that they did was Quicksilver was the kid from the new ones that they did. We didn't get him in the originals.
Right.
I think Patrick Stewart did an amazing job as him. Ian McKellen as Magneto, phenomenal. Kind of with their backstory there. We get more of that with Fassbender, but there was a lot of characters that were completely just not right. I will agree with you all day. There are a couple of scenes that were great, a couple of characters that they did develop very well. Halle Berry as Storm, I didn't mind her as a character. I would have liked her as the look of the character from the newer ones that they did, where the girl had the mohawk. That's what I want. I want those originals. We didn't get that. And at the time, they made them all in leather clad because they didn't want Wolverine running around that suit. They didn't want the characters running around with the comic book characters because they felt humanity wasn't going to accept it. That's it, and a lot of issues with that. They could have done a hell of a lot better job.
That they could have done with it. Fox taught me not to have high expectations when it comes to superhero movies. And that's what I learned, which is why I don't overanalyze, which is why I don't overexpect.
I think that's DC.
I take it for what they gave it.
DC
Fox started, so DC can
Fox
fly.
started.
Yes,
exactly.
DC said, hold my beer.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
But I'll get off my soapbox in a second, but I'm not going to say I hate them because I do enjoy everything. I loved seeing it on screen and certain characters. Did they do it well? No, not at all.
So we gone over. This has been a fun episode though. So Mike, Bergie, I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. I want you guys to let us know where we can find you because I know you guys are killing it over there at the 4-Letter Nerd. Talk to us. Give us your digits, everything. Go ahead.
Bergie, go ahead. Tell them where they can find you this weekend.
This week at home, sleeping because I'm exhausted. No, you can catch us on Wednesday nights on the 4-Letter Nerd. We're sitting there talking all nerd culture. We do the same thing like you guys do. We expand on different stuff. We do different things. We have a blast with it. Mayhem's an excellent host. I knew you co-hosted with us a little bit, Sebastian, in the past and stuff like that. Hopefully we can definitely have you guys on there as well.
Invasion.
You guys are great. Your knowledge is
LW Invasion.
Let's not go with the wrestling thing. Come on, man.
I will have the button. Just remember
let us know when, and we'll be on.
Yeah. We can do the Nerd Invasion. Can you guys send me the link of your channel, please?
Yeah, Mayhem, you got that right.
On it right now, sir.
All right.
Put the link in the descriptions
that's
because that's what I do. Link is in the descriptions.
You the boss.
Oh, Val, you're that? Okay. He said the link is in the description.
I'll send you the link, Val.
Okay.
Anyway, this has been a beautiful episode of the Nerds. Next week, we're talking about Star Wars Visions next week.
I gotta watch that.
Season 1 and 2.
It came out
I gotta
last
watch
week,
that.
and
Yeah.
the new season came out. So yeah, we're excited about this one. Star Wars
Nice.
I'm
Visions.
catching up now, yeah.
They also
And
did
the
what
movie-
was it, the Yoda ones or something? Was it the little skits
Yeah.
ones with the little kids and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta catch those.
And then the following week, we're talking about Eternal Unicorn. What is it, Val?
I'm sorry. I'm not prepared. Thanks. It is called.
What's that?
Give
on?
Nightcrawler a better promise and
No, it's Kennedy. I'm gonna butcher the name, so you can write it down, Bong. It's his new show, and pretty much
Warriors Eternal.
Warriors
Unicorn
Eternal.
Warriors Eternal. Thank you.
And
that
The
new
new
animated
series
series.
on HBO Max, and Adult
and a
Swim.
lot of people are
And we're
excited for
gonna
it.
be we're gonna be doing the first 3 episodes on May 23rd.
nice.
And Fugitive
Has that
Comics.
dropped yet?
Yeah,
No, it actually drops
first episode did. The first episode dropped free
on
on
Friday.
YouTube.
It dropped on
Ooh.
Friday.
I gotta watch that. That looked
Yeah.
really
But
good.
yeah, Fugitive Comics will be with us. They're returning to talk about that and with us on that. They're actually really excited to talk about that show. And we got some great stuff coming up. In the
Tartakovsky. Oh
returns.
yeah, I'm gonna watch that.
Yep.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Samurai
So-
Jack.
So next week is definitely going to be Star Wars Visions. Then we're doing Unicorn, and then we're doing Bad Batch. That's for this month. So
gonna be very
guys, I need you guys to
Star
catch
Wars
up on
nerdy.
Bad Batch. I look at Seabass face like, oh shit, I forgot about that one.
I didn't
Let's
forget about it.
please
I got the
get
camera
back-
on my phone.
But you forgot about the show.
I forgot about Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I stopped.
I'm just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. You
I
guys stop.
stopped with Team Wolf. I couldn't. We had to stop. We had to stop.
I can't watch it. I'm
It was
sorry.
too much.
I tried.
Stop.
I can't
guys
get
suck.
past the first episode.
It sucks.
I can't
You-
get past the first
Seabass,
episode.
you didn't try. Seabass,
I
you didn't
did.
try.
I
If you're
tried.
fucking
I
telling
cut-
me you
I
couldn't get
cut-
past
Teen
the
Wolf?
first episode, he's
Yeah.
gonna say I tried. Shut up. Thank
I
you.
cut
I
off
tried.
in
No,
half.
no,
the
Seabass, I'm
second
not talking
episode.
to you.
I
Not
tried.
talking to
I
you.
got to season 4
Tone-
and we're like, I can't. We're
Oh, I
done.
watched that for
I
season. I had to turn it
appreciate you
off.
trying. I appreciate you
I
trying.
see even Burgess co-signed on it. Thank
And
you.
I watched some trash TV for trash stuff. I've watched a lot of trash TV in my day. I couldn't watch past like 6 episodes that I had to stop.
When Tone told me about the whole thing with the palm, how they turn werewolves in the palm, I was like, wait, a paw print in the.
Come on.
Yeah, let's go. We're gonna go off on another tangent. We'll be here for another 3 hours. 'Cause that's the third
Seabass, you've
tangent.
watched worse shit. For real, don't talk shit.
Damn!
Trouble.
This is how we ending the show.
Where did the show?
Has
end
the
this weekend?
nerve to talk crap about garbage that he's watched. Let's hear this.
I'm in
Go
trouble
ahead.
with getting yelled at. So this has been Sebastian getting yelled at.
It's been long, just laughing the whole time.
It's your boy Tone from across the hall, just putting him on mute sometimes.
And then, of course, the logically valid Vmac.
Logically valid. Let's go.
Should be a
That's what it
consistent
is.
sign off. Just
Yes.
that's
Oh, I
Cypher,
use it on
don't
TV.
get
I'm
gas.
sorry, it kind of sticks. I use it on TV, but I'm
Hold
not going
on.
for it.
Hugo was asking, what's the unicorn show?
Ugly.
So he has it.
Oh,
Unicorn Warriors Eternal
Unicorn
That's in 2
Wars
weeks.
Eternal. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah,
on
it's
HBO
on-
Max.
it's on-
Hugo, it's created by the guy who did Samurai Jack.
Yeah. So next week, Star Wars
And it needs
Vision.
to
After
watch
that,
it.
we're covering that show, and then after that, Bad Batch.
Yes.
All right. So I'm gonna
Alright,
take it away with
guys.
that beautiful B music in 3, 2,